looks as though we are on some kind of waiting screen. There we go. Hello, everyone. Good evening, afternoon, good night, good morning, and welcome to session 41, I think, if my math doth not fail me, of Doors and Deities, the preeminent live-action Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live stream here on Twitch, presented by Table Quests. If you like what you see here today, you can always check us out in all of the information down below. Kendra usually puts the stuff in the chat. I don't know how that wizardry works, but you can check us out on our Linktree, linktree.com/tablequests, I think, or is it TableQuest RPG there? I think Table Quests. Oh, there it all is.
TableQuest RPG.
TableQuest RPG. There you can find, I think, our YouTube, Discord, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. But if anything's not there, you can always find us. If we are to be found on a particular place, we can be found under TableQuest RPG or Table Quests. If you don't see us, we're probably not there. You can come bug us over in the Discord about getting something on there, which the links to that should all be there as well. Yes. As always, if you really, really enjoy what you see, feel free. We would be deeply appreciative if you would throw a subscription our way. As always, you get a free Twitch subscription 1 month per month through Amazon Prime. So if you have one of those kicking around and you'd like to throw that our way, we'd be deeply appreciative. Getting into our acknowledgements, thank you as always to Syrinscape for the use of their sound library for the lovely sounds that some of which you're hopefully hearing right now. For the music and tone setting and sound effects and things like that. Basically anything that's not coming from us. So thank you to Syrinscape for that. Thank you as well to @animated dungeon map. No, not at. Why did I say at? Patreon.com/animated dungeon maps on Patreon for the lovely animated three-dimensional battle maps that help bring these settings and events to life. I think that's all of those. Does anyone have any shout-outs, announcements, corrections, things to say? All right, absolutely lovely. Moving right along, I am, of course, Drew, as you can see down at the bottom of the screen here. Not bottom of the screen, bottom of my screen. Drew, and I am joined today by Kat, John,
Hello.
Tom,
Hello.
and last but never least, Walt, whose name just escaped me for half a second. I don't know what was up with that. Sorry, Walt.
Yeah.
I know who you are. I promise.
Sorta.
It's
Yeah.
you play that emo guy.
Oh. Oh. I've never been so accurately burned in my life.
Last week, as we rejoined our adventurers, coming back together after some time of being separated in the northern nation of Flascos, they reunited in Chillhaven. As summer enters its waning days, meeting together after relatively few hijinks in a tavern nearby where they had agreed to meet. Finding there was still a little bit of tension, a little frostiness between the two groups. Of course, that became superseded by the entrance of Omen, a Shadark High who was assisting with the preparations for the Night of Ascension, the celebration of the Raven Queen's ascension into godhood centuries ago. They spoke, traded mistrust, some trust, swapped stories, and happenstantial meetings of similar antagonists, as they found they were both negatively disposed towards Andreas Parland. Excuse me, I'm forgetting names left and right. Ugh, the whole week has just thrown me off, I guess. After that, they participated in the celebration, the burning of the wooden raven statue late in the day, and while the three the three who interact with death, that of course being Lyra, who it is hinted has had some alterations to the way she does things after her resurrection from the dead. Omen and Amnael said a collective prayer to their various deities of death while the statue burned. Um, in the meantime, Tempest and Desiel having connecting moment with one another. After that, you all scattered to, well, I say scattered, the five meeting in their rooms at the tavern, and Omen laying his head a short ways away nearby in the Raven Queen's temple. After that, Lyra had a disturbing dream that seemed to be her sword warning her of some power being unleashed this night. Um, and as everyone awoke at the stroke of midnight, with kind of an acrid, salty burn in the air, taste with our dry mouths. So, Omen, you wake to this in the small cloistered room that was, which has been hastily furnished for your stay there. It's not the most comfortable, the austere stone walls, but you have a window, you have a wash basin, and you have a cot. You've slept in worse places recently. But now you wake distinctly uncomfortable. You feel a dry crust around your eyes and the edges of your mouth. There's again that kind of bitter, salty burn permeating the air. You blink, your eyes kind of itching.
Hmm. It's quite odd. He'll kind of look around, see if there's anything
Mhm.
going on, making that.
Right. You step kind of out into the temple to get a look around where now there are several candles lit, somewhat illuminating the dark night. Um, as expected, all of the priests appear to still be asleep. But as you walk out towards the entrance, a shadow does darken the way a little bit. Brother Corwin, the oldest of the priests, blind for many years, kind of sits at his normal post where he would greet people coming in to leave offerings. Um, he stands kind of hunched over on his walking stick, looking out, just taking in the night air. You feel it too.
Kind of a odd taste, no?
Oh, yes. Something strange abides tonight.
Hmm. Omen will take off his maul from his back and kind of just have it at the ready.
Strange to have the night of ascension on a new moon.
Hmm.
Inauspicious, some would say.
Has this happened before?
Not like this. There are never good
Hmm.
things about on a new moon.
Hmm.
Too dark.
Uh,
Always was.
Omen will kind of step out and be in front of him just in case something happens. He'll look around in the night, see if he sees anything.
Make a perception check.
Ah. Ooh, not bad.
Okay. You don't really see anything. As Brother Corwin would have elucidated, it is quite dark. Even though cloudless sky, brilliant with stars as the moon no longer blocks them out. You don't see anything, but you do start to hear like a ringing in your ears, quiet and high, like a loud noise was made right near you. Seems to kind of emanate from farther in the town.
Mm.
You kind of like rub in the air like you're asleep. Is it just yawn, pop your ears? It's still there.
Well, I suppose you have this post. I will go farther in, check it out.
I, I, you stride through the empty streets. As now there were several places where the statues and the shrines were laid, all calibrated to burn out at this time. So you pass by um, one such statue in just a pile of ash, just black wooden clump. And if you step nearby, you see bits of small white crystals gathering um, on the coal. You run your hand over and it breaks quite easily. Just forming almost like a, not quite a coating. And you see bits and trails of it around, in and around the shrine.
He'll kind of pick it up and mush it a little and see
Mhm,
if anything happens.
mhm. You feel it's a very rough, coarse texture, but the crystal's going to break down into small clumps um, in your hands. It feels like they're very sharp. Like they're too weak to act to hold up enough to cut you before crumbling. But it feels very coarse, very sharp. If you kind of touch it with your tongue, it's very salty with a hint of more bitterness.
I guess he'll gather some and put it in a pocket.
Okay.
Um, hmm. He'll continue on and see if the ringing is getting any louder or
hmm It it does seem to be ticking slightly more and more as you walk in closer to the main shrine where you last night sat with Amnael and Lyra, saying your prayer. And you walk up from the south into in towards that square, that area. And as you round the corner, you do see something, and we'll get to what you see. Amnael, you wake with the same discomfort, as do Desiel and Tempest.
Um, is there some water around my bed that I can try to drink to get this taste off my mouth?
Interestingly enough, there was a like bowl of water near the bed with a mirror to kind of wash your face and whatnot in the morning. That was pretty full, or as full as you'd expect it to be. It is bone dry.
I'll get up, like rub my eyes. head towards the bowl and just instinctively, without opening my eyes, put my hand on the bowl and just clink into the nothingness. And I'm like, this is strange. Um, I'm going to get out of my room and walk towards Desio's room
Mhm.
and just kind of knock on the door.
So do we all wake up about the same time?
Yes.
All right. So while he's doing that, Desio reaches over into his bag and pulls out a water skin.
Mhm.
Um, takes a sip. Is there anything in it?
You notice as you're pulling out that the stopper, the seal, is like pushed up, not enough that it's fully out, but there's a gap in the seal, and it's empty.
About that time, hearing the knock on the door. Yes.
It's me. I'm Nell.
Oh,
Mind if I come in?
no, come in, come in. I'll mage
Oh,
hand
open the door.
open the lock with the key from the inside.
Um,
Jeff, forgive me. I was the door was locked. Jeff, come in.
no, sorry. Sorry to wake you up. Do you have some water? I woke up with a really weird taste in my mouth.
You see him sitting there holding his water skin. Well, no, I don't. I likewise awoke with a strange, like a burning taste, like a sulfur almost.
You too. Huh. We're at like a tavern, right, Drew?
Mhm.
Do you want to go check downstairs? Because this seems a bit strange, no?
Did you check your? Did you not have water?
I had a bowl in my room. As I'm saying this, I'm starting to fumble through, like, see if I still have my water skin attached to me. Um, I had a bowl of water in my room that I was using to wash my face, my hair, my teeth, but it's dry. It's completely gone, and I didn't use any of it.
My water also is dry. The water that was in my backpack, in the skin, was dry. In the bota is completely dry.
That's weird. I've never seen this happen before. Have you?
Have I heard of anything like this happening before?
Make an Arcana check.
Make a dryness check.
13. You remember reading about the the base elemental planes, negative energy, positive energy. And one thing you remember is that when negative energy is drawn into, or creatures formed of negative energy are drawn into the material plane, water is sucked in. That is one consequence of summoning things or utilizing negative energy. It draws in water.
In my limited experience summoning like the shadow beast and whatnot, like I have clearly not noticed anything of the sort, but I've heard of this.
You've heard of this, yes.
Okay, is it the thing that like, I mean, summoning Eddie, things like that, like something small doesn't do it. It has to be something large.
The idea is, in theory, whenever you summon anything from somewhere, there must be a counterbalancing.
Yeah,
So theoretically, when you summon Eddie from wherever it is you summon him, that has an effect, but it is not noticeable.
gotcha.
It's mostly theorized that for most summoning, it's like air that is displaced,
Gotcha.
which just fills back in.
So my question is like, would I have reason to believe that this is like a very large breach of the plane, or just different?
As you don't see something like in your immediate vicinity, it would probably be to draw in from a wide radius.
All right, so it would be something large, not just different, because it could be like large, could be different.
Yes.
But okay, so
Assuming something wasn't summoned like in one of your rooms and just
sure, yeah.
then it would probably be something larger.
Well, I have not experienced it myself, but I've heard there is a theory that if something is summoned to our plane, it must be replaced in the plane. You know, like we can things exist, right? We can only have so many things existing here on our plane, and so when a thing comes onto our plane, something has to replace it where it came from, or else it causes problems in both places. And that thing could be a bunch of air, it could be a bunch of water. For this much water to be gone, something very big has likely entered nearby. They weren't trying to summon a thing when you were out there doing the praying and whatnot. Did you notice? I didn't notice any summoning, but they're not summoning the Raven Queen or a big servant of hers or anything else, no?
Were they trying to summon the Raven Queen?
Karkath, perhaps, is
Not
trying.
not to your knowledge.
Okay. Oh, why do we always have to have the complex interplanar explanations at the worst times? You'll get back to me on that one because I half understood it. But I don't think so. If there is something here, well, I guess we would be able to see it.
So scary thought.
Yeah. Do we know where?
Karkath, right?
where
Was it Karkath that was imprisoned by the Raven Queen?
yes.
And the
but
cultists are trying
he's
to help him escape?
yes. Well, I mean, if it's trying to come out of the Shadowfell, perhaps. Why don't we have a single night's rest? Okay, we definitely should go down there. I will go back into my room and I'll look at my armor and be like, this is the second time I've been caught lacking, but I'm not going to waste 5 minutes on this. And I'm going to grab my scythe and I'm going to head back towards Desiel and start going down.
Okay. What is Tempest doing?
Yeah, Desiel's
During
probably knocking on Tempest's door by the time he sees Amnel.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
gonna
while
say
all
we-
that
I mean-
conversation is happening, Tempest
Yeah,
wakes
yeah.
up. Same deal.
Yeah, I mean, I would share a room with Lyra, so I would check what's happening
Okay.
with her. Like, does she wake up as well?
She does not. She is kind of muttering under her breath. Her face is looks like it should be like she should be like in a cold sweat, but you just kind of see this whitish dust on her face.
And I'm from a seaside town, so I would know. Like, this is not like a normal side effect of being near the ocean, like having the air be this salty and stuff.
No, certainly not. I mean, you guys are several days inland.
I'm gonna try and wake Lyra. This is weird, and I don't like it. So I'll just
She
shake
kind
her.
of
a little.
tosses and turns and then stays asleep, muttering still.
You gave me consent when we were first friends. I'm gonna slap her face.
She does not wake up.
I'm just gonna. I mean, is there a window in our room or something? I'm just gonna peek out and see if there's anything weird happening on the street.
There is a window.
We've been blessed. It is a fortuitous day.
Now, you guys aren't
Hey,
on.
Kendra,
The front
Wherever you are, just remember to ask.
check for windows. You can't see anything from your immediate spot. It's a very, very dark night. You know, the streets are empty. You would reckon it's probably midnight-ish.
I feel uncomfortable with the idea of leaving Lyra if she's weirdly not waking up. I'm gonna pull out Terrence cloth from my belt, who I haven't used in a while, and just breath of life him to say, go to Desiel's room, and then just shake around until he follows you.
So the cloth takes vague humanoid form and starts bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh no,
Like
he
the
like spins through the air, kind of like
Oh, okay, I
he
see.
flares out.
And drifts out underneath the door, and then up as Emnail ducks back into his room, although you don't see that. And then Desiel, as you step out of yours, here is this cloth. Just kind of fluttering and wiggling in front of you.
You've seen Terrence before, so you would know what he is.
So I am going to pull out. I look at it and I'm like, I'm going to pull out my little copper wire, and I'm going to try making a performance check first to see before I roleplay this. Nope. Okay, so he says it with an accent. You hear a whispering message in your ear. Gargoth is free. A very horrible.
Do I pick up on how terrible it is?
Presumably.
I mean, you could roll an insight. You could always roll a 1. You could be worse than my performance.
Sure. Insight.
I rolled a 2.
You don't know what Gargoth sounds like.
Yeah, you're I mean, you're groggy, you just had your sleep interrupted, your mouth is real dry, you're disturbed, and you just hear in a weird voice, Gargoth is free! In your head.
Holy shit. Oh no! There's only us two and Delira's asleep!
You can kind of hear,
I'm
like,
gonna
muffled from the door.
I'm gonna try and
freaking out.
start like lugging Lyra out of bed, but I have like terrible strength, so I'm just gonna flop and now we're both on the floor. Hurry up! Wake up! We need to
You hear a knock. Tempest!
Tempest isn't here right now.
Okay, should I burn this little towel thing who's dancing around?
Wait, no, not Terrence! What's the password?
He doesn't have one written on him. Should I poke him until he tells me?
I'm tentatively going to crawl out from under Lyra's body and just open the door.
About that time I turn around. Anna, what are you doing? Put your fucking armor on, man. As I see him come out of his room unarmored.
What is happening over there? Why is there a little towel dancing on the floor?
I assume, Tempest, is everything dry in your room?
What do you mean dry? We have bigger problems. Lyra won't wake up from sleeping, and Karkath is back.
Okay, quick question, Kat. Is your room locked?
I think she
said she opened the door, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
she
have
just
to be
opened the
talking
door.
to you through the open door.
Yeah, because otherwise I would have just opened the door. I will get my armor and I'll start.
Okay, I'll help. I'll help. Tempest, it was a joke. Forgive me, bad taste. The Karka thing, that was me. Um, I don't know what happened. Something has come onto this plane. I don't know from where, but you say Lyra's not waking up.
Lyra's not waking up. For all we know, it is Gargant. That was mean.
No, I mean
I can't get a
that actually was the scariest of the theories I had, was perhaps Karkath has broken free. But okay, where's the new friend Omen?
Wasn't he saying it like a
He's at the
temple?
temple.
Oh, he's at the. Okay, so we all need to go get him, because if something was summoned during the ritual for the Raven Queen, we should ask the Shadar guy, who's a Raven Queen servant or something.
What do we do about Lyra?
What about her?
She says she does
Well,
not need to
she's
breathe,
asleep.
right?
Is she breathing?
If you go and look at her, make a medicine check. If you're gonna like walk in and look her over.
Are there windows to her lungs?
There's like a valve. I mean,
And now comes over like a pauldron on, and like half of a breastplate.
you're like still buckling things in. Oh, too tight.
Yeah.
Tight. Oh.
Yeah. I hate having to put things on a rush. Okay. So +8, my medicine.
18.
That
All right.
is 8. Yeah. I don't know why I rolled just a flat d20, but sure.
Still works. Yeah, you see that she is breathing. It looks like more reflexively. Just like very mechanical, in, out, in, out. And as she does, you see she's mumbling things, mostly indistinct. You'll hear, Parland, where am I?
Oh.
Just, no, wait, don't go.
Okay, Tempest. Juice says she does not need to breathe, right?
Yes,
Yeah, no,
bag.
we've tested it. We have gone swimming for literal hours. It makes like snorkeling a lot of fun, really.
Okay. There's this thing. Now we're going to do the test that we did on the ship with Tempest there, where after I give you the necklace that allows you to breathe anywhere, and we put you in the bag for like 10 minutes and 30 seconds, and Tempest was there to make sure when we pulled you out that, if you had died, we could wake you up, right?
Yes.
You keep the necklace. Let's see if we can do the same thing with Lyra. Put her in the bag for 10 minutes. We put her in the bag. I will help Anael finish putting his armor on, and we will. Then he reaches in the bag of holding and pulls out the hourglass that he had borrowed from the ship's captain. And we will put this here, and after 10 minutes, and 30 seconds or so, more or less, we pull her out and make sure that she's not dead, right? And if she is dead, then you are both here. We wake her up. And if she is not dead, then we stuff her back in and go find the Omen.
Admittedly, it makes me a little uncomfortable. The last time we put Lyra in the bag, she was dead. But trauma and dealing with it can come for after. We don't have problems right now. So put her in the bag.
Okay.
Yes, I would just make one more Sorry, I can't seem to tie this one. Just like to make one more consideration.
We will help you with your armor. It will take a few minutes to do this. What? What's your
I just like to make one more consideration. Probably let's pull our after 10 minutes clock if possible, because I don't know about you, Tempest. I don't have any diamonds on me.
Oh, I do. I'm fine. But also, I keep telling you, Lyra is good on the breathing front.
Okay, so there we go. So we just make sure.
Testing.
We just make sure.
Sure.
And what happened to... Anyway, we'll talk about that later. So, okay, so we put Lyra in the bag, we get our stuff together, we get them now ready, and then we pull her out and make sure she's okay.
Yes.
Question.
Okay. Yes.
Lyra was muttering some stuff when she was asleep. Do you know what might be
Really?
worse than Karketh being back?
No, I do not need that kind of negativity in my life. It's too late for this. We will cross that bridge when we get to it.
I mean, technically I think it's early, but okay, I'll just keep my thoughts to myself.
Nice.
Look,
She goes.
look, it might be, I don't want to say his name. What if it's like a Beetlejuice thing? You say his
What if it's
name
a
too
bad
much and he
omen? Like we
appears.
put it out into the universe and then it.
The one who shall not be named. Yes.
Okay, let's put her in the back while we talk about this, so that we can get the 10 minutes over with. No?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
I'll help. Put. Oh, this feels so wrong, so sad. We're just putting Lyra back into the back. But yes,
The session
and it only took one session.
angrily scribbles out the sessions without Lyra in the bag of holding. 0.
Oh, I'm gonna scribble
Sessions
a
from
note
1
here.
to 0.
I'm gonna scribble a note that says what we're doing and like why we put her in the bag and like put that in with her as well, just in case she wakes up and she's just in the absent space and can't come out, because I know that that's a little unsettling.
Having experienced it.
Oh dear Lord. Okay, so we put Lyra
Okay.
in the bag, and I'll finish putting my armor if that's
Yeah.
what we want to do.
I'll help him finish putting his armor on.
Alright.
Yeah.
What was she saying, Tempest? Kind of yelling from Emnail's room.
Please don't go.
Something about he who must not be named.
So she said he who must not be named, or she said the name of...
She said the name.
She said the name, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna be the one who puts that out in the universe.
You are superstitious too, eh? I mean, I expect this from some, but I did not know you were so superstitious.
I think it's a recent development. It's kind of like one of those things where everything went so tragically long in like such a really short period of time. You gotta cling to what you can.
Okay.
If I start carrying around a rabbit's foot, just that's the point where you step in, though. Okay, that's weird.
Yes, also because it would be quite rude for you to cut off Winter's leg. I mean,
there was a while that I was trying to eat yours.
You know, speaking of Winter, I think I had a dream about, because we hadn't seen her since we all got split up. I had a dream that she went and got a makeover. I bet she's just stunning now.
You know what? I hope it's Karketh. I wish for death.
And us all.
Monk jokes.
Yes, we don't deserve, but let's just start over.
Let's just cloister that one away.
Yeah, we
And
finish the armor and we get down. Like, as we're moving, also another thing, is there any sign of other people in this tavern? Like sounds, other people might be waking up.
It sounds like someone is downstairs, like in amongst the barrels of things, like rustling around.
Gotcha.
And when you get down there, you see the tavern keeper with lamp up, like muttering angrily and like pushing things around. Barrel leaked. Gonna kick a barrel that like kind of echoes.
So we're heading down at this point, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, so after the 10 minutes, like, we pull her out, is she still...
A-okay.
A-okay.
I mean, her state has not changed.
Okay. Stick her back in. Okay.
Is your booze gone, sir?
What?
What? Why are you fiddling on the barrels?
Someone sprung a leak. Beer's all drained out.
I just look at Desiel and Tempest. Well, isn't that unfortunate? I guess we're gonna go for our casual, completely normal midnight stroll.
As we're
Sees you
leaving, I'm gonna be like,
in
what is
full
up with
armor,
water?
like brandishing a scythe.
I didn't hear Desiel's theory, so I'm gonna be like, as we're leaving, what is up with the water, by the way? Like, everything's so salty here.
Everything's so what?
Salty.
Yeah, I guess it is a bit salty. So when something comes into our plane of existence, no, something has to leave the plane because only so many things can exist on this plane at once. And so as something comes, something goes, and that can be like air, it can be water, it can be like trees for dragons, whatever. Usually it's just air or water, right? Like to move an actual thing, you have to summon that thing. But just like water and air, just displaces from one place to the other place, this place to that place.
Suppose I should be glad they went for water, not air. That would be bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're mostly sentient, and so I don't think you would go to another plane without being summoned.
You are correct. I am mostly sentient. Thank you. That's actually a really high compliment from you.
No, but anyway, for all the water and booze and everything to be gone, something very large was likely summoned into this plane nearby. Perhaps
I'm not
larger
gonna
than
say it.
2 baby red dragons. Maybe bigger than that. Though I don't know. It could be about the same because we were already in the plane. So, I mean, that could have happened here when that happened too.
Well, let's go do what we do and needlessly walk into trouble and find out.
Yeah, well,
Yay!
we should go find Omen, the servant of the Raven Queen persons, and go ask him if, there was some hijink.
Well, like a ritual.
Yeah, they were doing ritual, right? So
True. I mean, it is kind
I
of.
mean, anyway,
ironic.
the way is out.
Well, it's much, I guess. Oh, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself before we go.
I am not.
Is Tempest wearing her hat?
She is. And as she does Mage Armor, the clouds kind of sparkle a little.
I'm
with
gonna
lightning
cast
in the middle.
light on.
On her hat.
On her hat, I presume. Casual
Yes.
casual midnight walk, yeah.
7 foot tall.
You don't know us?
Yeah. 7
Mage
foot tall
armor.
dude with a scythe, mage armor, glowing hat. I'm just being me. I'm still stealthy.
Just keep it away from the tavern. Don't break anything.
Hey, there are a lot of on-road cart accidents nowadays. It's good to practice caution when crossing the road at night. I'm gonna walk out.
All right. You walk out into the black night. Looking around to your left, you see a shadow, a dark shape walking towards you. To the bulk of armor. Omen. As you're striding up the road, you see the door to the tavern fling open, and a small glowing figure emerge from
Ooh.
it, with glowing star-like light on the tip of the hat, a shimmering armor-like cover. Tempest.
Wow. That's. Did you do this? It's salty.
Oh dear.
If you mean the whole oh, there's no water in the entire, and we didn't do that.
There's no water.
Did you
He'll
have?
go for his.
Anywhere.
He'll go for his
Anywhere.
He'll go for his water skin as well.
There's less in there than there was when you filled it. It was you filled it up and then it's maybe halfway full.
That's weird. There's only a little bit in here.
Oh no.
Okay.
That
So
means it's close.
he's closer to us than where he was at the temple, for sure.
Yes.
Well, the ringing is quite louder here. Yeah.
Did you hear the ringing?
Ring.
You don't hear the ringing?
Do we hear the ringing?
Do we hear the ring?
Yes, you guys. Now that Mnail, you would have heard it. I think I even said last time. You would have
Yeah,
heard
I
it the
think
whole
so.
time.
Like
All
a
of you now
tinnitus,
that
yeah.
now that you're outside, you can all hear it, especially once he points it out.
That is quite irritating. But like looking at the square, because you said the tavern is this building to the right, correct?
Are you pinging?
Oh no, I'm not, but I could. That's
Yes,
actually
that
pretty
door
smart.
here. Yes.
Cool. Do we see anything? Like what is the general?
Well, here, let's from there, no.
Gotcha.
There's nothing on kind of this road and the building in front. You can't see down to the right or left.
Okay. Do you guys want to peek? What's our plan?
So, Omen, there was no summoning with the rituals and whatnot that you were doing with the burning of the effigies and whatnot.
Not that I know of. No.
Something has been summoned, likely nearby, likely something very large, onto this
Oh.
plane.
Hmm. Well, if you don't mind, I could go take a look, but I need someone to be beside me. And he sits down, and he'll start to kind of move his hands, and his shadow will start to coalesce and like begin to apparate beside him.
Is
And
that
then
normal?
yes. I guess for me, yeah. It seems like just this pitch black figure that sort of has his outline and also has like this big, it looks kind of like a big warhammer, but the staff is a little bit longer on it, and the bulk of the head is just a little bit bigger than a regular warhammer.
Desiel pokes it.
I think it does have its space, I'm pretty sure.
Is it corporeal?
Yes.
Yeah.
You kind of hit against
It has,
this cold stone-like surface.
Did you see through this? Is he?
I can. And his eyes, which are normally like a blue, just sort of kind of fade into a gray, and he just looks out, and then the kind of the shadowy figure is normally just like standing, not really looking around. Then the head starts to kind of move and look.
Are you Omen? He's looking straight at the shadow's face. Her head.
The shadow points down to where Omen is, and Omen's mouth speaks. That's Omen.
But you control, this is like Omen, you are controlling this.
Yes.
Can you see? You see, or is it just Shadow Omen can now see?
The shadow can see, I cannot.
Oh.
That's why I need someone with me at all times, if I do this.
I'll step in front of Omen then and just like get him to put his hands on my shoulders. I'm the only one who doesn't need my hands free, so.
So he's like a large shadowy eddy, essentially.
Who's Eddie?
Oh, this is Eddie.
Our 5th party member, apparently.
There's a spider, the spider that has been
Oh.
on his shoulder.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's useful.
Well, I guess I can go take a look around.
Okay, absolutely.
And the shadow Omen will just dart off and just start looking.
Desiel stealths off after him, watching it.
Tempest
Okay.
is just on the
I
spot
don't-
doing a little cha-cha with Omen's body.
I don't
Cha-cha,
100% trust this dude yet, so.
All right. Roll stealth check.
Emil, I'm going to go be a sneaky.
Okay, and I'm gonna put a hand on your shoulder and cast guidance on you.
Ooh,
Not
plus
that you
guidance.
need it.
My.
Well, as far as I know, that's due to your guidance. 26.
Tempest, you're looking. You see the shadow go off, and then for a split second, you see another shadow go off, and then you see nothing. Diziel he's more invisible than the shadow in pitch black. He is just darting along, following this thing who has now taken on the sparkling blue of Omen's eyes, which you
He's
can
in the
occasionally
wrong
kind of
career,
see.
man.
He lived another life before you met him.
She doesn't know.
And so you basically invisibly follow along as the shadow kind of drifts and looks around, and then as it rounds the corner up to where the shrine is, you see the stone, and then where Omen and presumably Desiel is expecting to see a burnt shell and ashes, stands a white raven that looks carved out of some kind of crystal. Small protrusions and spikes trickle off of it. As I don't know which okay, so we can see it. Stands motionless on the shrine. The bowl from here looks empty, as if all of the coals and the dust is gone. This thing standing in its place. And Desiel, you see this as well, following the shadow.
Quietly, Omen by Tempest will whisper, "I see a white raven." A statue, I suppose? Should I go closer, touch it?
Maybe start with going closer and then touch it.
Oh wait, I can't hear them. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it anyway.
yeah. Tempest doesn't know how this works.
Tempest doesn't know how a lot of things work.
Omen just stays there. Shadow Omen just stays there. It's like, oh right.
Do I have any
He'll-
idea what this thing may be?
You can make an Arcana check.
And I guess Omen will try to figure out if it's moving at all or is it just a statue.
Perception for that. As far as the Arcana goes, you can actually see as you look at it Like you look at the very edge of like one wing, and you see like it's almost you see almost a ripple of crystal as another very thin layer is added to the creature, and then you see it ripple again, kind of adding these very thin crystalline layers. Omen. Apart from that, it is dead still. It looks to be there seems to be some kind of magical energy that is formulating this thing into energy, magic energy of some kind, into a coherent shape. What that shape is based on, you're not sure. I mean, you can presume the raven statue that is no longer there.
Gotcha. So I have no idea what this is. I just know that.
It's not something you've seen before,
Right.
but it is clearly formed of some kind of magic and still forming.
Wherever it's coming from, it's essentially being 3D printed onto our plane.
That seems to definitely be the case. You actually see the air kind of warp around it as the little edges go on.
Oh, I wish I had control water right now.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Um,
But just Med says at the top, it is at this point about 8 feet tall. Where the wingspan would reach, presumably, something like 10 feet.
So is it in the full shape of the white raven and just keeps getting bigger at the moment? Like a layer, like the whole thing gets just an entire layer at a time keeps getting.
That seems to be the case. It's not perfect. Like it's kind of how it is in the image of like the eyes are not really there. Some bits of it look kind of warped and like they filled in wrong. But for the most part, it's like it's one shape that's being added onto.
And I have no idea how big this thing's going to get before it stops growing. Obviously.
Not necessarily any indication of that from just a short time looking at it.
And
Although it doesn't seem to be adding on quickly. Like it's been, let's see, 10 minutes for that. Say 25 minutes since you woke up.
Okay.
Where presumably this event would have occurred. So you can kind of extrapolate out. It's slowed down its growth exponentially.
And I can't detect a source of summoning or creation or whatever is going on. Okay. And how far are we from Emnail and Tempest and Omen? Omen the first.
Well, let's get back onto here and slap a grid up. Because as we all know, I'm terrible with distances. So they are around here. And you guys are peeking around this corner. Maybe Denzel's around here. So not terribly far away. 30 feet.
And where's the statue in this?
Statue is right. Oh, oops. Right here. Oops. Right here. So Denzel, Omen Shadow, you two. It's here.
And how big is it right now? Did you say? About
8 feet tall.
I guess shake me if you want me to go touch it. And then poke me if you do not want me to touch it.
I'm minorly concerned
think we should
internally that
poke.
I'm the one who's just been left to make these decisions, apparently. I'm gonna shake him.
I poke Omen.
Oh, lovely.
Can you hear us?
Well, I guess
You
we're like
cannot.
25 feet away, but
That depends on how loud y'all are being.
true.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm definitely not yelling. Um, um, like the shadow is looking towards the raven. Like at no point does it look back.
Right now it's just eyes are on it, just in case it does anything.
You like, what if it like eats him? Get dead with Parliament. I mean, I
Do
don't
we
know
know
him,
what
but I
he's
don't want
looking
him
at?
to get
He told
hurt.
us.
He said a white raven.
So that's all we know.
And he asked
Basically.
if he should touch it.
Yep.
Do I see something that I believe would be a spell happening, or is this like a magical effect with that Arcana check?
Ooh. With that Arcana check, not as you look at it. Well, you kind of see actually. That's a very good point. You see as you continue to look, this kind of white dust that's like settling on it, and what appears to be like then being formed into this. You trace the line of it up as it pinches inward and up. The moon is barely there. Like you just see the barest hint of a um, of a crescent, but it looks almost like it's shimmering a little bit, like the black space, empty space where the moon would be. There's like a little, like tiny pinpricks of light.
Would I think that's anything like someone with greater invisibility that's casting a spell, or some other effect that I might know?
It looks, from what you can see, it looks as though the effect is coming from the moon.
From the moon. Counterspelling the moon would be kind of
You're not in range.
yeah.
That would be quite the discovery.
That would be interesting.
Counter spell. Yep,
Turns
it
out
worked.
the moon is
What?
300 feet away.
Just really small.
What about with distance spell? You know, surely.
The moon is.
You're only thousands of miles short.
I mean, distance spell is an exponential growth because you double it each time. So at a certain point, it would get pretty far.
How many
If you
casts?
use
How
like,
many use? I don't think you could use it all on the same spell, but if you could,
yeah, you can use as
I
many
have 10 sorcery
sorcery points on
points.
it as you want.
so let's see. Max range of counter spell.
100. No, it's like 60. So it'd become 120, 240, 480. It would be 2 to the 10 times 10. So it'd
Yeah.
be 20,480 feet. Yeah,
Not even close.
still too far.
I suppose with a shake and a poke, I'm gonna just start to creep forward with Shadow Omen just a little bit closer
All right.
to see if there's any reaction.
Well, let's see. We can throw tokens down here if that will help, and it will. We even have one for the shadow. I forgot about
Yes.
the shadow. Is on the wrong layer. There we go. How about here? Yep, Emneo. Open himself is about here. Put this next to him here. And yep, that's everybody. There's no reaction.
Hmm. He's gonna go even closer.
So
see if there's anything going on.
is he basically, he like takes a little step forward and stops and then takes a little bit. Okay. when he stops the first
Slowly.
time, and I assume with passive insight I can figure out that he is moving towards this thing, Eddie is going to crawl up onto his back, the back of the shadow.
Mm.
The double ventriloquist is what we call that.
All right, he'll continue to move forward slowly.
Meanwhile, I will message from my little corner. I will message ML and tell him, because I don't know what's been said back there. There appears to be a large white raven being summoned or created just down the street here, about 20 to 30 feet away from where I am. And the shadow is now going towards it.
I'm gonna turn to Tempest and be like, so apparently the thing that Omen was thinking is like a giant raven thing, statue, creature thing.
Is it
It's
a
like
creature
over
or a
there,
statue? Is it alive?
but like a bit further on.
Can I like
statue
throw a
alive?
mind sliver at it and be like,
I don't
is it
think so.
conscious?
That would be a great idea if we could tell them that.
I can tell them that. I'm gonna pull out a piece of paper and scribble it on it and then send it to them. I had no time to fold it, so it's just literally
Yeah,
just like a
but-
thing of
but-
paper,
but-
just like.
Okay, but I just point over that direction, the direction like where the shadow went, and I like, Omen is gone, and I can't see Desio. So who are you sending this to?
I was just gonna send it in that direction and hope one of them sees it. I can't send it to
I don't
people. I
think
just
that's
send it
such a
to
great
places.
idea. If there's yes, but if there's something else over there, it's gonna see it.
To be fair, if there's something else over there, it's gonna see Shadow Omen too.
Yes, but Omen's here. Fine.
Just admit it was a good idea, and I shoot the paper off.
It is. I just don't want to attract attention. But I mean, I guess the shadow
I am
Shadowkai
glowing.
will do most of the heavy lifting.
I'm glowing. Well, you know, attract attention. I'm glowing and sparkly. And you are you.
Anymore. That's. I can't tell if that's.
Don't get your feelings hurt.
That's
You
a
are
big
shiny, you
visual.
are large and tall, and you are also far more clanky than you used to be.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to cut off my legs at the ankles, like for me to fit in a little better?
I wasn't insulting you. We're both loud.
I know. Damn it! Send your thing.
It's already over there.
Yeah, just a piece of paper drifting in the wind
Gyroscoping.
over towards the corner. All right,
Omen just watches it.
Shadowman, you're right up there at it. You see very clearly the kind of ripples of air and then tiny crystals that layer on the outside of it. It is definitely quiet. I guess Shadow Omen doesn't feel anything.
The shadow will just reach out and just touch it. See what happens.
Okay. As he makes contact with it, the outer layers of the crystal crunch and break. As you touch it, the wings, in a crackling shower of crystals, explode open.
Oh no.
and the shimmering stops. It turns its head towards the shadow and lets out the same piercing noise, just much louder, as a shriek.
It woke
And
up.
what's that? Yeah,
It woke up.
as its beak flies towards Shadow Omen.
Sure.
Yes, quite. Sure.
It's a 21. And how much?
Yep.
How much health does
It
your shadow have? Has
It
one?
has what 1 HP. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So it just
Yep. Desiel, if you're looking, you see the beak shoot through the shadow's chest, which just kind of fades outward from the center. And Omen snaps his eyes back open and sits up. You all hear the shriek. And let's roll initiative. Because Shadowman is gone.
We're fighting a salty bird.
Gotta be.
My brothers have decided that now is the moment they have to sing the VeggieTales theme
Oh, is that what that
as
is?
loud and as off-key as they possibly can.
I've actually never seen that.
The only appropriate battle music for this scene.
I mean, if they are trying to be as loud and off key as possible, they're succeeding. So that's a good
That's
thing.
the only explanation I can think of. Omen, what is your dex?
it is a 14.
It is a 14. All right, so you win.
Hey.
The tiebreaker on that. So let's get that away. Let's get this in here.
I like this +8 initiative.
There's the music.
Whoa. Oh right, Time Wizard.
3 from Dex, 5 now, 5 from Intelligence. Thanks to leveling up.
All right,
I
numerically descending.
my one initiative.
Desiel,
Indiana,
it's you first.
right now.
All right, so I saw an actual bird break out of essentially a chrysalis and attack Omen when he touched it.
It appears to still be made of crystals, but it's
Okay.
like the outer layers were rougher. And then as he broke it, and then as it started to move and kind of throw those off, it is smoother and sharper. Like it was piling on and then compacting the lower layers into something more solid.
Does it seem to be finished being created?
It is now. The shimmering has stopped. The kind of warping around it has stopped. So if it was done, you don't know, but it's done now.
Is it a creature?
Do constructs count as creatures? I don't think they do. What is it
They're
you're
their own
wanting to do?
entity.
Yeah.
I don't. Polymorph.
Ah! I won't say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether or not polymorph would work on a construct.
It would work on you.
It would work on me.
Make an
Peace, bitches! Boom!
make an Arcana check.
I turn into an unladen swallow.
What is
Screw
it?
you guys!
What
I
is-
become a giant owl and fly away.
17. You don't think so. It looks to be made of crystal. Like you don't see any organic components to it that would be affected by the spell. Essentially, be the same as casting it on a brick wall.
Gotcha. Okay. That's bad. It doesn't seem to see me yet, I assume. So I am going to hold my action.
Okay.
If it appears to take any action I deem aggressive, which a creature that can fly can attack from the air, so I will include taking off as that.
Okay.
I will cast a spell.
Okay, do you mind at least messaging me what that spell is?
Fireball.
Right, wizard. What was I thinking?
I've used it like 2 or 3 times and it's been useless like every time I've used it.
Cast it on
Every
nothing.
time. So let me cast it on another fucking statue. What could go wrong?
All right. All right. So that's your turn. You're holding that action. Tempest.
I have no idea what's going on. I can't see shit.
You have heard the very loud noise. You've seen Omen say it woke up, and it is now present. His shadow is back behind him. Not that there's much of a shadow.
And I can't see Desiel because he is a ghost.
Cannot see that Desiel is completely invisible. Not literally, but for all intents and purposes.
I don't technically know that anything aggressive is happening, just that it woke up. I guess
I mean, you know the sound it made.
I'm gonna look at Omen and be like, are we fighting this thing now?
Oh, I think so.
Okay. And I'm gonna. Can I see it if I get to here and like lean over into the next square?
You can see it.
Is it as terrifying as it sounds like it's been?
It's as terrifying as it looks.
Okay.
A giant crystalline raven.
For the purposes of like, not like polymorph and stuff, but just for like my regular attacks like shopping grass, guiding bolt, would this count as a creature?
Yes, it's a creature.
Okay.
It is a construct, which is a type of creature.
I'm gonna.
Drew broke 5e. He found the type of thing that isn't a creature, isn't targeted by any sort of spell.
What do you mean, Marshall? What do you mean, Marshall caster gap? Just use a construct.
I'm curious as to how sentient this thing is. I'm gonna try attacking it with Mind Sliver and see if it has a mind to sliver.
It has a mind to sliver.
Ooh.
That's intelligence 15 saving throw, not 5. Intelligence 5 saving
An intelligence 5 saving throw. Believe it or not.
Tempest got less charismatic during the
I put
during our
everything into
No.
the puppet show, so anything outside of that, I can't do it anymore.
It fails.
It fails, okay. 5 psychic damage.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. Do I find that it has a mind to Mind Sliver?
Is it psychic? I don't know what you necessarily feel from Mind Sliver. It seems to connect to something. The head,
That does it for me.
The head twitches and looks at you because, as you can see it, so can it see you.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I am going to bonus action quicken spell. And now that I've mind slivered, it takes a d4 minus. I'm gonna try and. Does this look like a charismatic bird?
It's sparkly.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
I mean, it is very shiny. Okay.
Charisma of the bird.
From Tempest's
Damn it,
perspective,
you
it's
beat
sparkly.
It is very shiny. You know what? Whatever. I'm gonna try it. This is the thing that I'm trying. I'm gonna try and quicken spell and cast Bane on it.
Okay.
So this is
Bane.
50% saving throw for charisma this time. And because I'm quickening spell, I'm going to also use my Shadowfell shard to curse it to fail. Well, not
So
fail,
that's-
but curse it for disadvantage on. What do birds
No,
use?
it's after you use a meta magic option,
Yeah,
right?
it's when
Okay,
I
so-
use the meta magic option. So
Does it
after
have to fail?
No, it's just when I use the meta magic option.
Okay, I see.
When you use a meta magic option on a spell while you're holding or wearing the shard, you can momentarily curse one creature targeted by the spell. Choose one ability score, and until the end of your next turn, the creature has disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws using that ability. It's a bird. I'm going to use dexterity.
Okay.
And saving throws.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, even without the mind sliver, it fails.
Beautiful. It is now
It is
baned.
baned and has the Shadowfell Shard
Right.
disadvantage on dexterity. Shut up, Tom. If you're gonna say that every time.
Please continue.
Please continue, yes. So let's see, it is baned.
Drew, I will cast Bane on it again just so that he can do that again.
And
Hello, Batman.
let's say that for dexterity.
On the bright side, now if Desiel does Fireball, it should hit.
Alright, is that your turn? That's action, bonus action, you still have some movement.
I'm just gonna duck back around here so it doesn't immediately look at me for just doing all that stuff.
I mean, you are glowing.
I'm glowing, but I'm around a corner now, okay? And maybe it's distracted by the black tendrils that are now around it.
Suggesting birds don't have object permanence. Interesting.
Yes. Hey, I've seen birds run into windows, okay? And that's not a high intelligence score.
So put a wall of force in front of it. That's what you need to do. It'll run smack right into it. Omen, you're awake.
All right.
Your turn.
Omen will.
Omen.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Have your
Oops.
movement standing up. I'm just kidding.
30.
Not prone, no.
How dare. And then Omen will move his hands, and like his shadow will kind of like just fly out 15 feet. And then it will move over. And you see Omen will take his maul, and he'll move to like attack, but then the maul itself kind of flickers in shadow, and then at where the shadow Omen is, it kind of apparates and will take the swipe.
Alright, go for it.
And
First attack from Omen. Come on.
I will not do it as Great Weapon Master, just to see if it hits.
Oh.
We'll find out one day.
Yes. There we go.
What did you say about Martial Spellcaster Split, Drew?
Is it doing it? Let's see. 13 to hit.
13 does not hit.
So as you ran
Okay.
forward, did you like cast a thing? Did the shadow come out of you? Like what happened?
Like where the shadow was, it like you know, like the regular torches, I suppose, that are around. Like he has a shadow, but then it like coalesces up and like almost takes form, and then it just like flies forward.
Okay, so basically as you're running forward, your shadow comes to life. And you like
Yeah.
do a thing? Do you do like an obvious movement or
He kind of just puts his hand forward and it'll go. And then he'll take a second strike.
Okay. Oh,
Oh no.
14 does not hit. Great first start, a
Alrighty.
6 and a 7.
He'll use one of his release incarnations. So you'll see the shadow kind of grows a little bit darker and bigger, and it'll just take another swing. And you see Omen doesn't even take a swing, it just has its own kind of action. And it will see if it hits.
Roll an 8.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So bad.
Oh, a 5.
No.
I'm getting
Jesus.
flashbacks to session 2. Session
Session
1?
one.
Session 2?
My-
Session 1.
My first rolls. Yeah.
All right. That's his turn.
All right. Oh no, it's the
Darn.
bird's turn, and true to form as a bird, its wings out, beats them up, and in one pulse, it just seems to, fly up, but just to jolt upwards and go to shoot across, and that I believe triggers a
Yep.
fireball.
Yep. He releases the guano-powered fireball.
All right,
So,
so the
it's
shadow
disadvantage and minus
shadow's
1d4.
gone.
No, no,
won't matter.
no. Three-dimensional world. As it jumps up, I release it above it, so it comes down.
Fair enough.
Also, I get an opportunity attack if that's the case as well from
Yeah.
my shadow. Okay.
You can take reaction from your
Yes.
echo.
So I was looking at the map. I was like, there is nothing 20 feet away. I was like, up. It's 20 feet away from the shadow.
At disadvantage. What is the DC on that?
Terrible rolls. No. God damn it.
I think it's gonna fail no matter what, as yes, that misses.
2, a 5, a 6, and a 7. Ugh,
Fuck.
Tom. Yeah, those are some John rolls.
I'm not going to say anything. Oh, I didn't have to roll,
Okay.
so... Yeah. Today, my dice have been okay.
Come on, disadvantage, Bane.
Yeah, disadvantage and...
Oh, it
bane.
failed.
Fail.
It failed without either of those.
Oh.
Let me
Roll.
feel useful. They were very necessary.
All right. Okay. No. To be fair, the first roll was a 16.
There you go.
So one of those did it.
Helpful.
So 2, 6, 4, 32 would
As
be
it
average.
goes up.
That's exactly average.
And zips across over to Omen, and as it does, it kind of turns its wings inward and slows. Its talons swipe up out at you.
Minus a d4.
Minus a d4.
I'm gonna be so annoying. This is like the first time I've used Bane in like the entire game.
So the,
Bane.
the shadow died?
Did it get hit by the fireball?
No.
If you put it
It did not.
up above, then no.
Yeah.
Shadow's
Oh.
all right.
Okay.
That is.
mean, it doesn't really matter.
So let's see.
No.
It's.
I don't know.
Here. Gonna fly up to you. So that is a 26 to hit.
Yep.
And then a 29 to hit.
Okay.
So I think even with the d4, it's gonna hit.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, never mind. It's ability checks and saving throws. Never mind. Ignore me.
So that is 13 points of slashing damage from the first strike and 14 from the second.
Okay. 13 and 14.
As it scrapes across the front of you and then just swoops over your head and just bolts its eyes onto Tempest as the glowing literal beacon she is.
Oh, no.
And its beak slams out at her. Ooh, that is a natural 20 to hit.
Silvery bops.
Okay.
I would, but I used my reaction to cast my spell.
Yep. Let's see.
Right when you hold an action,
no.
it uses your reaction. Is that correct?
Yes. To trigger a spell. When you hold when you hold
We hold an
your
action to ready, yeah.
Okay.
Rolled a 19, so that's a 30 to hit.
It's not a crit, okay? But
That's
it
right.
does hit.
Tempest, you and I are now flanking it, so melee the hell out of it. Let's go.
Yeah, the sorcerer and the
Let's
wizard
go.
melee.
I think I have a staff that I
It's
do,
like, I was
like
just
1d6
out.
minus 1.
I've got a dagger.
Yeah, I just like to point out the first time I had a chance to use a certain ability, and I was about to do it, and Cat beat me to it.
That
Oh,
is
you have silvery barbs now?
18 points of piercing damage.
No, but it can cancel
18,
crits.
and I've got to roll a concentration check,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's right.
Yes, concentration on mage armor.
Great
as it
clerics.
then beats its wings again and settles on the top of this
Opportunity
It's
attack.
concentration
Cocoon
check,
here?
constitution
I can't.
saving throw, or
Concentration
constitution
is
check.
No way.
It is, but mage armor isn't concentration. I'm pretty sure.
It shouldn't be.
Mage armor is not
actually, yeah.
concentration.
No, Mage Armor's not. Bane is, but is concentration. Am I rolling a check
Oh,
or am I rolling a
Concentration, it's a saving throw.
It's a con
It's a
save.
con
It's a
save.
con
That's
save.
good
Yeah.
because I get that. That's one of my proficiencies.
10.
Who's that?
Fuck.
Oh
No.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on.
man.
If this is a saving throw, can I use Favored by the Gods? Is that a thing I can use this on?
On a saving
Yes.
throw, yes.
Technically. Okay.
Technically.
Oh, you've passed. There's no
Goodness.
way you're gonna fail that.
Uh,
Yeah.
13 fails. So, well, you got to roll 10 or whatever's higher.
10 or half, which would have been 9, so.
But yeah, but you got to roll the higher one.
Yeah.
So
But it was 10, it was 10, so.
No, you-
Anything on a favor by the gods
Yeah.
would have done it.
yeah.
Alright, so you-
Attacks of opportunity are reactions, correct?
Or reactions, yes.
Yep.
So it doesn't
Which
get
now
my
all-
dagger.
You know, all three of you have used your reactions. And that's its turn. Now Amnael's. So it is about 20 feet or 15 feet up on this kind of spire, and then whatever distance away.
So if I get over here, you would say that it's within 60 feet of me?
Within 6, absolutely.
Okay. So as I'm walking a bit briskly towards that space, I'm trying to think, and I remember Desiel saying that it seemed like it was something being summoned from another plane, and I see those weird tentacle things around it, and I'm like, no time to find out like now. And I'm gonna point a finger and I'm gonna cast banishments on it.
Ooh.
It has to make a charisma 16 saving throw.
I did not
boy.
have that prepared today. I'm glad you did.
Okay.
Back to where you came.
An item distasteful to the target. I just pull out my holy symbol and I'm like, this one's better.
Oh, sorry. I also didn't say who I'm going to give advantage to with Silver Carbs. I'll give it to, I guess, myself, because I know I make attack rolls often.
Okay. It's gone. As Amnael shoves out his holy symbol,
I
the being
extend my symbol.
it kind of
Sorry, I extend my.
yeah, the air around it kind of warps, and then it collapses inward, and a burst of water splashes out onto the square. It's disappeared.
Are we all just sopping wet now?
Yeah, essentially. It's a good bit of water. So we're out of initiative for the time being.
With my arms extended, I'm like, well, I didn't think that
stay
was
like
gonna work. If nothing hits me for the next minute, because if it is, if it's not from here, it shouldn't be able to come back. I've placed beyond the veil back again. What was that?
Desiel's like soaking on the edge of his wet cloak.
Oh,
It is completely pure water.
Okay, but still. Can I move to where it was, like at least in that general direction? Because I know it came from behind this building. So like, can I go inspect it?
Yeah.
Like this whole area?
Absolutely.
Okay. One, two, so for out of initiative, I'm just gonna pop over there and say to Tempest, like, get over here. Let's not scatter.
Run.
So is there anything left of it?
There are a few like remnants of ash in the bowl, and there is a small, now like just a charcoal lump set in the center.
Cool. It really tastes quite good. The water's fine. If you're thirsty. I mean, I was thirsty.
Does it? I think I'll wait for a bit. Do you think that this was what was summoned, Desiel, or do you think this was a consequence of it?
Well, given that when it went back to its other plane, all the water returned, I would say is that for Diddy, no? Like, all the water left when it came, and now it left, and all the water came back.
It's do we have any remote idea of what that could have been? Like, or at least where it would have originated from, given that it's a construct. And I do have at least a knowledge of interplanar organizations and stuff like.
Yes,
No.
well, don't know what you're talking about. Desiel can recall, perhaps he can recall what it is I said at the very beginning of right after his Arcana check, of which plane tends to produce this effect.
Yeah.
Which plane tends to produce?
When things are summoned from the plane of negative energy.
Oh.
It
Gotcha.
tends to suck water.
Oh, it's the plane of negative energy. Gotcha. I misheard. I thought.
Gotcha.
Okay. Thought when things are summoned, they create negative energy. I misheard.
Well.
So yeah, apparently it comes from the plane of negative energy. Tempest, do you want to educate us on that?
Yes, the plane of negative energy is. Do I have any idea?
I mean,
You always nat
I am
20
loath to ask,
your
but
lore
Arcana.
rolls. When it comes to planes,
Come
Tempest
on,
always.
Tempest, you can have advantage on it.
Oh.
You have silvery barbs.
You do have
Oh, I do
silvery
have
barbs.
advantage.
Come on, Tempest. Come on.
I have no clue.
Oh.
Oh.
Not today. It's
you're
a
rolling
plane.
like me.
It's a plane of negative energy. Something
I'm
about
gonna lie through
salt.
my teeth. It is definitely the Shadowfell. I mean, it's in the name. Shadows just can be very negative. It's a negative plane. It's definitely the Shadowfell.
I look over to my shadow and just shrug.
Your shadow shrugs.
With an 11, do I know there's a difference between the plane of negative energy and I mean, I assume
You know
given
that.
my
You
earlier
know that
Arcana,
without.
yeah.
You know that without rolling.
Okay. Okay, not so much what she said.
My specialty's the Feywild. Okay, I don't
No,
know.
I understand. It's a plane of negative energy, and you are a being of such positive energy. Is okay.
That's definitely it.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to study it a bit further, I think we have 15 seconds. I can bring it back.
Did anyone grab the weird thing that was left behind, just like the ember or whatever it was?
13.
Amber?
No, the ember.
The charcoal lump of what used to be the statue.
I'm gonna grab that. I don't know why. I feel like it'll be useful.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, because it's probably hot.
Ember. Yeah, he didn't just say a lump of charcoal. Ember.
Well, I said a lump of
Oh,
charcoal.
okay. She said.
I don't know where she got ember.
Okay, gotcha.
Whoops.
It is a bit warm, and you feel like your skin is almost pulled into it, but you yank away as like your hand is kind of like the skin is immediately like ow, like it has a like it's dry and cracked, and salt got in it. So you are as a burst of salt-like. I almost said saltine crystals, but that's completely different. Salt-like crystals formulate very quickly in these spikes, and you are only going to take 12 points of slashing damage.
Hey,
Ooh, my.
is that on her or is that an area?
Oh yeah, you are standing right there. That is an area. So, Mnail, you need to
Me,
make that
this
as
thing is
well.
gonna come back.
Why did you
Oh,
pick it
no.
up? I didn't notice.
I guess I turn around
Okay,
and
so
I'm
I
just
have
full
to make
of salty cut.
There's a dexterity or no
Okay.
Constitution saving throw. I mean, you're gonna take damage regardless.
Yeah, so first to see how much damage I take. And
Yes.
then oh my god. Okay. And unlike Tempest, I'm not proficient in them. Yep, that is a 4.
Oh. That's the full 24 points.
Oof.
The good
Okay.
news,
And
Desiel,
now
is
the
that you're close.
concentration check.
Oh,
Do you say like
hold on a
it
second
has
before
a
you
min
before
pass.
you roll anything. What is the like the con save when you take damage? Is it you have to roll as like half as much damage as you've taken, or you have to roll as
it
much?
it is half the damage or 10, whichever's higher. So
Yeah.
at this point, it's 12.
Okay.
So would you say a minute has passed, Drew?
Not quite.
Hmm.
Fuck me.
Hmm.
Well,
Whoops.
this is gonna suck.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're all right.
It just gets spiked with salt crystals. I'm like, what the fuck?
Ow.
And I just start moving away. Like, fuck this noise.
I think it tried to eat me.
Ah,
Did she put her hand back on it?
oh my God.
You should
No,
put
no,
the hand
no. I
right
hold
back-
I hold my like desiccated hand up.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be so itchy for ages now. Is the thing still there? Sorry, I forgot that I had pushed it
Yeah,
on.
it's still there. Now with these brittle, sharp crystals, like still kind of hanging off it.
Should we move this?
You actually see steam rising up from it.
Should we move this or somewhere? Like, I get the sense that as it gets more water, it's just gonna come back. It like, as evidenced by that, I'm suddenly very thirsty and itchy.
Is there water coalescing on that space?
There does seem to be, but it's very slow. Like you
Okay.
just like how like frost kind of forming over something you take outside in a very cold day. It's just kind of very thin layer of crystal.
You want me
had
to smash it up from afar, or
Maybe from afar. Up close was clearly not the answer. These cuts burn.
No,
if
like,
you
as
Tempest, if you want to move away.
as you guys arrived, you would have noticed, maybe like at least Mnail with his passive perception would have noticed Desiel or Eddie, who was essentially standing there. But no AoE attacks happened right where the shadow originally fell, so Eddie gets dismissed once I am no longer holding a spell. Once it's gone, I use my action to dismiss Eddie.
I guess I'll just go over there now, away from this. However far that range went, I'm gonna go like triple it.
Yeah, it was just like in, say 5-foot radius.
And try brush the salt out of my wounds.
Oh, it stings. M nail
It
too. Like,
stings.
it's one thing to get salt in a wound. You have 1,000 paper cuts. Were made
Of
by salt
salt.
crystals. Yeah,
1,000
it
salt.
burns.
Yeah.
The wounds are very clean, but very painful.
So I guess Omen will kind of stand back, but the shadow will move forward towards the crystals, and Omen will just start in his space. He's like hacking at it, but the maul just keeps on disappearing each time into the shadow.
Okay. Roll attack and damage.
All right.
Amnel is curious, thinking if this is considered heresy. He's just like observing.
He's
There we
attacking
go.
a lump of coal, right?
Yep. Objects
Yep.
have ACs. I mean, you hit it.
No, I was talking about the heresy thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
So max down, and the coal crumbles. Let's have a final like burst. And as the charcoal is broken, the shadow disappears. But then
Fair enough.
you smash that. It's in bits and pieces of charcoal, and no more salt seems to be collecting on it.
I think I did it.
All right, and at that
Bravo.
point, we are going to go ahead and take a quick break. And that's as good a point as any. I was planning on being in the end of combat, but that happened a lot quicker than I was expecting.
Look, I wasn't gonna use banishment, but when it had a plus 11 to hit, that made me reconsider.
Yeah, that
things.
hurt.
Very.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you all in about 10 minutes' time.
All right.
Don't go anywhere. I mean, you can, just like, I guess because they don't
Just come back.
change the channel, but like you can open another tab. I don't care. Just make sure you come
Yeah,
back.
I've got like 50 of them open. So.
Don't
Yes.
touch weird rocks. Drink water. Hydrate.
See you at about 10 p.m.
Hope you enjoyed the break. What's that? Okay, very good. The sound works. So we slide back in, everyone standing around or at various distances from the altar bowl. What are you doing?
So the water only got sucked from the two that were immediately next to.
In the immediate vicinity for that burst, yes.
So I guess Desiel finishes cupping water and drinking out of the puddle in the street, which he made clean with prestidigitation, because I have that.
Sure.
Because I'm fucking thirsty. And looks up. Okay, so what now? Is Amnael still? Does Amnael still appear to be concentrating on a spell? Walt.
No, he's concentrating on trying to get the salt out of his wounds because this stings.
Yeah.
You would have seen him back away and like embrace himself in that weird cloak that emits from like where his wings and arms are generally, and some of the wounds closed a little bit.
Okay, so it's gone. You're it's gone. Okay, you're done.
Yes.
If you're thirsty, there's some clean water right here. He points to a puddle on the ground beside him.
I think I'll pass on the floor water. We'll search for water in a bit. DM, you had described previously that the dust or whatever was forming this creature was coalescing from the moon. This was something that Desiel had originally seen. Was Emnel able to see that at any point?
Not unless he was specifically looking for it. Like the reason that Desiel saw it is because he could see what was happening around the thing and trace it upwards.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, no.
Okay. So what does the sky situation look like? Does it look around? Like, do things seem to have calmed down?
The piercing noise has lessened from even its original
What's
amplitude.
still there?
It's still there, but much lesser.
Oh,
Can I attempt to identify its direction?
the bot is quiet.
No, like it can't hear. I think I can hear something from it. Right?
No, I turned the volume all the way up.
Very
There
quiet.
it
What about now?
is. Yes, now there is some music.
There we go. Let's go.
Sorry, bot.
That should be more like.
No. No. Um. Yeah, if I do like a walk around the block, could I try to identify where it is loudest to grasp a general direction from where it's coming from?
It seems to be coming from the northern side of town, where it kind of slopes up to the rise towards the rise of the next mountain.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to Desiel. Desiel,
He's like prestidigitationing the water out of it. His cloak. John's water is clean. Look,
you're
it's clean. I made it clean. It tastes good too. I made it taste good.
not that thirsty, thank you.
Really?
Did you? I am terribly thirsty, not enough for floor and cloth water. Um, did do you remember when we were doing the thing where you had to transform me and you were able to transform me into like an eagle that could fly? Remember?
Yeah. Do you want to be a big white raven?
Don't know about that one. But I can still hear that noise, and it's coming from that direction. Do you think it's worth trying to investigate it now?
I don't mean to interrupt, but I can do what I did before. Send my shadow.
Yeah, that also works. I don't know how far it is though. How far can you get away from him?
It's about 1,000-ish feet.
You can hear through him? Is that correct?
Yes, I can see and hear through him.
That is quite handy. Are you still hearing the tinnitus?
He'll kind of be quiet for a second and listen in.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that is good. Yeah, sure. If you think it, I mean, it's better than to expend a expensive resource. Since no offense, but it does seem like you can do this pretty easily. Doesn't seem to.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to do much.
Yeah,
All right.
that
DM,
might be a good idea.
does it seem directional, this tone?
Never direction.
Yeah, it seems from what it's kind of echoing from the buildings, but I mean, as Amniel found, it is kind of coming from the north now.
From behind this Desiel, basically, like that way.
Yes, up on the map. Funnily enough.
All right. I suppose I'll my eyes will turn gray and the shadow will form and we'll start walking north.
All right. Treads quietly up the street, and fortunately, the outside of town is not far away. It's up the hill. At the top of the hill is where the third
Tempest.
shrine was set up. So,
Tempest, stay with him. Desio will reach out. We'll be back. Desio will reach out and put a hand on Emnail. And with his other hand, he'll pull out one of the raven feathers that we got from the cultists so long ago. And he'll just trace a little glyph between us and say, let's go see what you see. Follow me. And Desiel just lifts into the sky.
okay.
Whoa.
You fly, I presume.
At 4th level, so it can be both of us.
Yep. Up to 10 minutes, gains a flying speed of 60 feet.
I can polymorph you, or I can make us both fly.
This is so cool.
I would go, but
Emil, you don't have to flap your wings.
no,
You
come,
can just fly.
Just think to follow me.
How tempted I am to just put my wings out just to make them go like.
Just follow
Uh,
me. You are better with the hearing and the seeing, so let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
all right, so you fly.
Tempest, anything you scream.
I mean, Tempest can do this at will. She's been able to do this since we met her, I think.
I'll be good. I won't touch anything.
I mean, you can follow too if you want. This guy will wake up and he will not.
Everyone's gone.
No, wait. I don't feel like bullying anyone today.
Today.
So I guess we kind of float
Okay.
over. At first, I'm kind of watching the shadow, but I'm also, once Emnail catches up, I'll mostly just follow. As he figures out how to control himself, I'll just follow his ears and eyes.
All right. Both groups inevitably make their way north and up to the edge of town where the final shrine was set out. On that, you see another of these salt sculptures. This one of a humanoid form, with arms crossed over the chest. This one appears to be completed. Its form is not crackled and marred.
Hate
You
that.
see what look like thin, sickly strands of hair kind of pushed back around a very, very receded hairline. The face looks emaciated. The eye socket's hollow as it just stares out. And at its feet is another smaller figure. On its knees facing outward, arms pulled out, head down, back arched. The ringing becomes as loud as it has been as you get closer.
Are either figure familiar? Like
What?
their faces?
How close are you going to get?
Unreasonably close, like within 60 feet of it.
Desio, as he gets closer, Desio will stop at the nearest. Like if there's a bush, alley, barrel, whatever. Like I'm keeping my distance so that I can keep my concentration if shit goes sideways.
Yep.
So I'm gonna hide a distance away and watch him do his thing.
Yeah. What I envision is we were both walking, and after or fly, I should say. And after a while, Anel just kind of looks at the statues and just starts like, I'm not gonna go down towards the floor. I'm gonna be like 20 feet up and 60 feet away from it. but I'm just gonna start like gliding forwards.
Okay.
As if I was in like kind of a trance, just
Okay.
trying to curiously look at it.
And the moment he goes trancy, I drop and hide.
Hold on, drop the spell?
No specific.
Okay, okay.
Actually,
Just making sure.
if there's a steeple, if there's a tree, if there's something not on the ground that I can hide in, even better. But
Yes, you could
I
hide in a tree.
I hide in a tree and
Yes,
watch.
yes, yes. Roll stealth. As you guys are gonna get there first with 60 feet of flying movement.
Oh my
He's invisible
god!
again. Just completely gone.
Desiel de
Perhaps-
Compostela over here.
This is
uh,
actually my shirt. This is the sign of the
oh, hey.
El Camino.
Yeah.
You fly overhead, and the smaller figure, its face is obscured, turned downwards towards the ground. The other looks. Roll a medicine check.
Okay. Let's see if I'll continue my streak of rolling shit on the stuff that I have really good bonuses for. No, 21.
Okay. It looks emaciated, like far more emaciated than something you would expect to be alive, but it also doesn't, the sculpture doesn't show signs of like decay. Like the skin is very smooth. It appears to be of a living being.
As if it was covered in something.
Yes, like right, exactly, like a living creature coated. It is that detailed. You don't like see anything underneath the salt, but it's very smooth. It looks like a master sculptor made this.
Okay.
And then it looks to be of someone who is very thin, very emaciated. You see a cavity in the chest where the sternum kind of dips inward quite quite considerably. And there is just an open, not open, but like empty space, and then it kind of rises back out to normal proportion.
Hmm. Okay, so as I started like drifting close towards it and I could make out these details, I would have stopped. So Dezia,
You hear in your
and I'm just
mind.
gonna look forward
You
and
hear
yell into the air. Oh, sorry.
the moment you stop and turn to talk, like if it's that obvious, you hear in your mind a whisper. Am I with? It's 120 feet, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I have that today. Yeah. You hear a whisper. What do you see?
Weird statues, human-ish, um, pristine detailing. I think we might have another little problem in our hands. I think we have to wait for Omen and Tempest. This might be another fight.
And where is Omen's shadow at this point?
And since we've done this enough, like every few seconds, like he'll hear just like a go on. So I allow him.
Omen's shadow at this point approaches the scene and would easily see Anil floating about 20 feet above statues.
Oh. Tempest hears just a sigh. I thought I was helping, but
I'll just pat his back. I've
Wow,
also
you
been.
killed
You
John.
couldn't hear me. I don't know that you can't hear me. So I'm gonna say I've also been relegated to the sidelines.
I inhaled a piece of crystallized ginger.
Oh!
Ooh.
The raven got you.
I suppose you can bring me, just take my hand and lead me up north, and right where I am right now, it seems to be safe, so you can come up to me.
I will do that, I guess.
Quick parenthesis. John, take a little bit of water, put your chin to your chest, and swallow hard. That'll help it get through. Quick tip for anyone who's choking on a little bit of food. If you put your chin to your chest, it makes a stronger swallow movement.
Thank you. I actually coughed it up. Like it went down here and I coughed it, and then it went up into my sinuses. So.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no help for that. I'll work it out.
Yeah.
Just remove the nose at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's needing to breathe in this freaking game, so might as well, right?
He's one of the only ones who does.
All done. It's all good now.
So as we're kind of there in that weird state, I would like to First of all, I'm going to use my Harness Divine Power, which allows me to use one of my channel divinities to regain a spell slot. So I'll bring back one of my second level spell slots that I used earlier. Or the only second level spell I used earlier. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to Cure Wounds myself at second level. Because I don't trust that this thing isn't going to attack us.
Speaking of not trusting things, what does Omen's shadow do? Like, I've been watching it kind of like him and Eminem at the same time.
It's sort of just staring at the statue and kind of looking back towards Tempest to see if Omen's body is with them
just it.
coming up.
Am I still a glowing beacon?
How long does light
I
last?
stopped. No, I took it off way long ago.
Did
Right
you?
when we got off, I said,
That's good.
yes.
I'm still sparkly, but at least I'm not glowing.
And
In
again,
that case,
my
I will be
light
moving
is
towards
purple. It's not like a bright white.
It's
Glowing
light.
is glowing.
If it provides
Yes,
bright light for
glowing
30
is
feet,
glowing.
it's
Pretty bright.
pretty incandescent.
Yeah.
So
Just bright.
Omen's shadow just basically walks, and then it stops in the open when it can see the statue.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, what I don't know is, like, it can see Amnail going down towards it. So it just stops there. Okay.
Yeah, as soon as he looks up and sees Amnail there, he's like, okay. And he'll wait to see if Tempest will come.
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
A short while later.
All right, he'll then dismiss the warging.
So
And
Tempest-
like if they were more than, I guess, 30 feet away, the shadow will just dissipate, and his eyes will come back to him. All right, thank you.
What are we doing?
Well, there's another statue. This seems a bit scarier than a raven.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, we shouldn't touch it.
No, that definitely awoke the raven. I'm wondering if we should just go in and damage it while it's still not moving, or I don't know.
As good an idea as any. I mean, the last one didn't go so well, so long as we don't do that, maybe I'm now can banish it again or something.
Fair enough.
How close are you guys to us?
I don't know, how high up are you guys?
I'm 20 feet up.
Yeah, I guess how close are you guys getting to the statues?
I want to be 61 feet away and not in line of sight.
Okay.
Um, I'll just say into the ether. Desiel, if you can reach into the bag, there is a sword, my old sword. Um, it's quite useful against this type of thing. If remember, it was quite good at breaking rocks and stuff when we were forging. It might help now. I don't know.
So, assuming Amnail like holds his hand up and makes a signal. Couple words in, here's go on.
Um,
And
in
so, your old sword of what?
my old sword, remember that the coils on it used to help it to destroy things, smash rocks, smash metals. Um, I have a sneaking suspicion that that might be somewhat helpful.
Okay, I'm in the tree about
But
60 feet behind you, more or less.
oh,
Tempest
good.
is underneath me. I don't think she sees me
Um,
yet.
the problem is my sword is in Lyra's back. So would you mind?
I already got her out. I was actually about to say, Drew, while all this is happening, Desiel actually reaches in and pulls Lyra out just to see if she's awake yet.
She is not awake.
Is she muttering anything? Is she?
She's not muttering anything coherent, but she is more agitated.
Oh dear.
So after he says that, like I'm having this conversation with like Lyra, like halfway out the bag, and he says it's on her back. I think is what you said.
Yes.
All right. He will try putting her back in, and then just think to himself, he thinks Amnail's sword, Lyra's sword, and then he just pictures the sword and tries to pull the sword out of the bag.
Could you imagine?
Yep,
He thinks
howdy.
Lyra's sword, and then the sword comes out.
Yeah, actually, he would. He's like, Amnail's sword, no, Lyra's sword. Lyra's sword. And he reaches in and sees if he pulls anything out.
He pulls out
Amnail's old sword.
Emnail's old sword.
So you can just steal from your friends that are in the bag. Do you know what's on them?
The rule is if you're in the bag.
If it's
Hey, I gave it to her. She hasn't used it yet. So technically, did I give it?
Yes.
Yes, you totally did.
It's like, hey, I bought you a car. And you hand them the keys, and then someone wrecks the car, like right in front of them. Oh, I didn't really give it to you. She hadn't driven it yet. So why are you mad?
So, with Tempest hidden behind the tree, like looking out ahead, and I guess Omen too, suddenly in front of you, you see a blur, and then Amnail's old sword that you gave it to her after she joined us, right? So she's only had it for a couple days.
Yes.
For like a day. So you see Amnail / Lyra's now sword kind of go thunk, like sticking in the ground in front of you.
What's that? What is that? He'll get into a position.
You hear from above. Amnail said perhaps that could be useful.
Oh.
And And then he'll message Emily. Did you need one of us to bring it to you? We're all back at the tree.
Okay, I will back up, like looking at the statue. I'll start heading back.
What were you about to say,
Um,
Tom?
Nothing. Just oh.
No.
And then Omen will then conjure his shadow again, just so it's out,
All right. It should.
and
You have
have a defensive stance.
You've got a
Hmm.
flying speed of 60 feet, so it should take you like,
Yeah.
less than 10 seconds to get back to us.
As soon as I get there, I will take the sword. I'll put my scythe on my back. Okay. So we fighting this weird thing?
About how long has it been, Drew?
From when?
From when Amnail and Desiel left and started flying out here.
I'd say you have about a minute of flight left.
All right. Okay, we got a minute. I got to Amnail or Desiel just kind of floats down. We've got a minute, and then neither of us can fly anymore. So, should I just end it now, or do you want to go ahead and get there quickly before I end it?
Unless you wanted to do something else, I would very much appreciate keeping it. Okay. Omen, do you mind? I mean, I think both of us are the more front engaging type.
Sure. I mean, my shadow does, kind of gives me a little bit of buffer, but yeah.
Yes. But so shall we go?
Sure.
Okay. As I imagine I'm faster than Omen, I will take my movement back towards the statue. I'll have the sword out. I will. Would it take me more than a round to get to it?
At 60 feet away, it would take you a round to get to it.
Okay, so I'm going to walk a bit, like, so that I'm more than 20 feet away from everyone else. And I'm going to say, as I'm leaving, I'm going to say, Omen, I hope you're not easily spooked. And I'm going to use my necrotic shroud, and you'll see dark, bony stalk like wings come out of Emnel's back.
Oh,
So
quite the bunch here.
while they start walking away, Desiel's still next to Tempest. Are you okay?
I mean, these cuts are really stingy, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not enjoying this. I don't like liars, not awake still. But I'm okay so far.
I checked on her a minute ago. She's the same as she was. Are you staying back here? I think perhaps I should get a little bit closer. I think we're about to, things are about to go down.
I will stay here. I'm in range if things go bad. There's no need for me to be closer. That last one was very good at hitting.
As she says that, he is looking at her and floating backwards towards them and says, I understand why you enjoy this so much. And then
You have better control over it than I have. I haven't managed to get the control turn yet.
he kind of he winks and smiles at her, and about halfway between the tree and the statue, so about 30 feet away, I will stop and land and wait for whatever's going on in front of me.
Okay.
So, unless Omen would like to hit first, I do have a thing that I want to try.
Okay.
Which will take me technically 2 turns. That's why I'm gonna say to Omen, like, would you like to go first? I have a thing that will take me about 10 seconds to do.
Sure. He'll bring the shadow in front and have it almost at the ready.
Okay.
Amel,
Uh,
fly, you fool.
sorry. I will use my channel divinity path to the grave, which doubles damage. And I'll get within like 5 feet of the thing, and I'm gonna be with the sword in my hand, and I can't decide. Amel's thought process is this a thing or is this a creature? Is this a person? And trying to choose, and he's like, no, this is not mine anymore. He'll crave that down and with the scythe.
With the scythe?
I'm gonna take him. Yes.
Okay. Roll attack and damage. With gives you advantage or double damage against
Come on. 10.
10. It swings and oh, that's right, because you're not using the sword. Smacks into the crystal and chips a tiny bit of it away, but then just smacks off like you're hitting stone.
Okay.
There's kind of a high-pitched ring that goes out and then settles back down to baseline.
And
Not what I wanted, but sure. Got something, Omen?
Omen will take a swing from his shadow.
Okay.
He'll try to attack. He'll put the shadow on the opposite side to see if he can get advantage. And he will Great Weapon Master this.
Okay.
I
Advantage.
finally martial companion, but I can double my damage. I'm so happy.
Did it go through yet? No.
I don't see it.
Not yet.
There it is.
19.
There we go. 19 hits. Woo!
I've tried the same before.
46.
Wow.
And if it can be wounded, it's wounded.
Cannot be wounded. It is an object.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough.
Oh, it is an object. Mother. I was like, because my original plan, I was gonna hit it with the sword, which doubles damage. It's
Why I
an
asked,
immediate
yeah.
crit. I was like,
so you hit, or the shadow hits the back of it, cracks it, and like a large chunk just carves away. Make a perception check.
Sure.
oh dear, we just killed someone.
15.
You think you can see like a mass in the center of this thing?
Mhm.
Let me check something and make sure of something.
Oh dear.
Yeah, of like a silvery blue-ish. It's like smooth, maybe. Egg-shaped in the center.
Hmm. Do I?
Although, no,
does someone
sorry, you're looking
sense-
through your shadow. You're not looking through your shadow, are you?
No. No.
Ah, never mind.
Okay.
Forget I said anything.
Sure.
This is gonna get real confusing with the shadow.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, how dare you.
I guess if he doesn't see it, he'll smack again. See if he can
Okay.
break it open a little bit more.
Keep on smacking.
Advantage. Wow. Awful.
Oh,
Awful.
Wow.
bounces off.
Wow.
This is pretty tough. Tough stuff here. You said you had
Can
some
we
sort of
try to-
sword that can. break this stuff, or
And now you feel your feet kind of thump into the ground.
Yeah.
As you settle.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick the scythe into the floor, and I'm just gonna two-hand it on the long sword, try to pierce through. With would I have an advantage now?
It's an object, so you don't get advantage for flanking.
Okay. So that is a 22.
Hits.
I'm clearly way better at swinging with the old thing that I've been using for the last few months. Okay. So this is
I mean, aside
13 plus 8 because of my necrotic shroud. So that's 21 points of damage, 8 of which are necrotic, and all of that is doubled because this is an object. So that's 42 points of damage.
Oh, did Omen make his save for the necrotic shroud?
I was far away from it.
He was
Oh,
far enough
okay.
away
I
when he did it. Yeah. Okay, so 42 plus.
Before I fell, I was making my wings do this. After I fell, I just I stopped the jig. Like the jig is up, and I'm just they're just there.
Okay. What is the? Okay, that was a lot of damage. Let's do 42 plus 23. You swing the sword, and it starts to carve in, and then, as has happened before when you've used this against objects, there's almost like a vibration that goes through it, and you see cracks spread out in the crystal as you continue to dig farther in until you hit something that isn't crystal.
Oh yay!
The blade kind of hits something soft
Mm-hmm.
and heavy. Make a charisma saving throw.
uh-oh.
I don't like charisma saving throws. This just feels personally. This just feels like a personal attack towards my person. That is a 22.
Okay, so you're fine. The noise gets louder and louder in your ears. You feel some kind of almost irresistible pull, but you let go, bring the blade out, and back away. As now slightly exposed is this silvery blue metallic mass, kind of roughly oval.
Does
Now
the
has a
pool
slice taken out of it.
was the pool familiar? Was something that I had felt once or twice maybe before?
Yeah,
Or I couldn't.
it has.
Oh, I'm getting the fuck away from this thing.
The last time you would have felt a similar feeling is when you ended up in the celestial plane.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Does it-
gonna
is-
sheath and take my scythe or just
Is it kind of
Oh,
like the other one where
alright.
Desiel saw the moon casting it? Like, does it look like a spell is being cast here, or is it more just it feels like a magic object?
What you guys see is the thing pulses slightly as he pulls, as he hits it. There's like a small pulse, and then he pulls away again of that kind of same flare color, and then it kind of settles.
Omen kind of looks back at Amnil retreating. What is that?
I don't know, but it's something that can send us both far away from this place, and I wouldn't touch it with you if you could avoid it.
Sure. He'll back up.
How much of it is exposed at this point?
Maybe about a fifth. to a corner.
So I could like target with a spell. Okay. So we're destroying this thing, correct? Right? Yes, no.
I
Looks
guess
like
where does it go?
Where does it go? What?
Like you said, it takes you somewhere. Where does it take you?
Last time it took me back to my home plane against my will.
While they're having
Right.
that conversation, as I'm 30 feet away from it, right above it, you see Eddie appear and then just drop right on top.
On top of
this blue
Okay.
spheroid thing. Does he disappear like the
does
instant he touches
Eddie has a stat block, yes?
it? He does, yeah.
Eddie needs to make me a charisma saving throw.
He
Or spider.
saves.
while
God,
I'm making
spider.
that
I
through,
have spider.
could we get the sense that whatever the cold earlier was is like whatever this becomes once the summoned thing is summoned?
What do you mean?
Well, the coal earlier tried to suck us in when I touched it, and this is a blue sphere on the inside of this thing. Do I get the sense that this blue sphere becomes that coal when this thing is done making whatever magic thing it's trying to do happen?
You may make whatever inferences you please.
Okay.
Are there modifiers to that D20?
I don't see that he has any proficiencies in any saves, so that would be
Probably not.
at a -4, so 13. Yeah, he's got a -4 charisma. People don't like spiders for some reason, I guess. I don't
Spider.
know.
Eddie's gone.
I
He
expected.
is. It seems as though he is quickly drawn in. The blue metal kind of flares, and then Eddie is no longer there.
Ported back to his plane as if I had dismissed it is my assumption, and so after that happens, I'm going to try summoning him back onto my shoulder.
Yeah, you can do that.
And he appears.
He appears. Yeah,
Interesting.
familiar.
So he wasn't destroyed. He was just banished to his home plane.
He was.
Essentially.
Well, he was not where y'all are.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, while y'all are talking, you just see Eddie kind of appear, fall, and disappear.
The teleporting Eddie.
Do you want to try hitting it with a spell?
I was about to do that. I'll take my scythe and I'll say to Omen, it's not as cool as another you, but I can create a few duplicates, and I will cast Spiritual Weapon at a 2nd level.
Okay.
And I'll make. I mean, honestly, I have my sword, I have my scythe. I might as well just make my glaive and be all out on this. I'll make a spiritual version of my old weapon above it and try to swipe down.
Yeah. Roll to hit and roll to. Well, so you're targeting the sphere or the metallic.
Yes,
shape.
the one that's on its feet, I figure, is the one that's crackling, right?
Yes, that is the big one in the middle has kind of broken open and kind of just above where that emptiness in the chest was is where this thing kind of now protrudes from.
Gotcha. It doesn't seem to have rolled. Oh, it did.
Okay. Yes, there we go.
18 to hit.
Does
it hit?
It hits it, the spiritual weapon hits it, and then is absorbed into it. The spell ends.
Ooh.
Still 30 feet back, seeing this, I will cast my mage hand. So you see a, not invisible this time, a purple mage hand appear right where Eddie had appeared. And then it floats down and touches.
As soon as it touches it, the spell ends, the hand is absorbed.
What can you guys not do? My God. This is amazing.
Everything. You just keep seeing things get appear and absorb, appear and
Totally.
absorb. We're just feeding
I
this
mean,
thing.
we've
Whatever it is, we're just
flown.
feeding it.
I'm used
Yeah.
to seeing shadow magics, but not like you're creating colors with out of nowhere. It's amazing.
Desiel,
Yeah.
can you see the blue ball? Can you see the bluish thing in there?
Yes, so far Eddie and my mage hand have both been taken by it.
Yeah, it took my weapon. Do you think it's innately magical?
Would you consider a counterspell magical or anti-magical?
Well, I think it's magical.
Is
I
there a
mean,
spell being cast though?
no, I'm just saying this thing seems to, I don't know, is banishing. Well, no, it's not eliminating them. I mean, Eddie was okay. It did not destroy Eddie. It sent him elsewhere.
I,
Hold on
do
a
you think I
second.
should try to?
I don't think he'll be able to, but we'll see. I will telepathically ask Eddie, did it send you home?
The sense you get back is that no.
Oh shit!
Okay, so it is sending things to another plane that is it's not a banishment. This is not a sphere of banishment. The way that the house had like the anti-magic, and I've got the bracelet of anti-magic. This is not like a banishment thing. This
Long
seems
story. We were at a house once, and there was anti-magic, and we killed a few people, and we almost died. It was a whole thing.
yeah,
We met at like a circus.
yeah, like
So okay, sure.
like Amnael was like dead, and but anyway, but he came back. So yeah, so this is not an item of banishment. This is more like a portal to another plane. So I mean, if we're tired of this one, and if we want to get away from Barland, I mean, we could fuck off to another plane. We could all just go touch that thing.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, like is it? Oh, he looks behind him and sees if Tempest is. For a second, if Tempest or Lyra are listening in on this conversation and realizes, oh, Tempest, as she crept up, is she listening in on this conversation?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be a terrible idea. Although, I mean, I could send us back. I mean, Ju could send us back for that matter. But then I would be sending you back to where you came from, not to where. But I would come back to here. If could I banish myself?
And I could send one of you today.
This I
But then
really
Julie is
hate that I am the one saying this, but this seems like a terrible idea.
We could put everyone. We could go.
Put this here.
No.
Where is it
Listen
going?
to me, Tempest. Listen to me, Tempest. We could. Everyone enters the bag. Desiel touches it. I get. Oh no, but I couldn't cast it from the bag, so I could send all of you back. Oh, but you could banish yourself technically.
But
Yes.
So you could
why-
banish yourself, Desiel.
I was just
the
reading.
bag.
I was just reading that. So.
But why are we going through? Why is that the plan? What does that
No.
achieve?
Okay, so this is a portal to another plane.
I get that, but like, think of all the things we know that are on other planes. Karketh, We suspect he who must not be named.
I wish,
I guess we could show up on the Feywild.
I wish
but,
I
like,
had prepared the spell. I mean, if
You
we
know-
leave this here,
you
maybe
know-
maybe after we sleep, I can prepare the spell to banish myself, and then I could go and study. I could teleport into whatever plane this is, and once I know it, then I could banish myself back here.
what if someone's waiting on the other side and said,
When did you become the reasonable one?
I'm starting to wonder this. Like, it's bad when I am the reasonable one here.
But this is not. But this is not just a matter of thrills. This is learning. Like there are forces at work here.
Hold on a minute. So if it's for learning, it's fine. But if I just want to have fun or I'm curious, it's not fine.
No.
Pot, meat, kettle.
I mean, curiosity is that this is curiosity. I am with you. This is curiosity.
And when that conversation ends, they'll just see Emil with a finger pointed towards it, casting Dispel Magic on the orb.
My brand of fun is like mildly harmless, not go off to get murdered by whatever the heck's on the other side of that.
Oh, if I had prepared
Yeah,
a spell this morning, I would be in it already.
I feel this was conjured or whatever for a reason to maybe bring things here, and
No,
that's the bad thing.
It's sending things to somewhere else.
And now you are casting the spell magic.
Yeah.
It's an exchange, isn't it?
Counterspell.
Sending water and sending this
No,
water.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Don't tease me like that, John. Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. A wisdom check.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's a big old +5. I can see 19.
You do that, and the stone flickers and goes dim.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fool. Why would you do this?
Because I don't want to get banished.
You don't have to get banished. I was going to get banished. Or not banished, teleported, and then I was going to banish myself.
I don't want to
thing we
get
had-
banished.
Yeah, remember this whole thing we had about, friends shouldn't run off away from their other friends into dangerous situations to go and get themselves killed where their friends can't help them?
I mean, you could come with me. I mean, you would come back
I
too.
don't want to.
Oh. How do you
No,
know?
thank you.
If I put the sign in front of it and I say fun this way.
I'm starting
Okay,
to think you think I'm an
now-
idiot. Between that and the whole, you're mostly sentient, I'm getting a little concerned here.
No, it's just fun. It's just fun, Tempest.
Is this what friends do? They put others down. They make them feel bad.
Yes, actually,
No,
that's how you know your best
this
friends.
well, the sign thing is Tempest has a thing with a sign. So we went to the Feywild, and you had to use a sign. Like she kept moving the sign different places, and if you followed the sign, then wherever the sign was, you could get to where the sign said you would go, even if you.
It doesn't work in the material plane, though. I've tried it.
Yeah. But, yes. Okay.
You've tried this too, Omen.
No.
You
I
just,
believe you, I guess.
You just put signs outside of doors and say fun this way, and open the door and see if it works.
I've never done that once, no.
Remind us when this whole mess is over to take you to the Feywild. I feel like you'll enjoy it.
I think I would love the colors, yes.
Are you?
It's more vibrant there, right?
I don't know if I could send him back here either.
Probably not. I'd probably go to the shut-up. But I don't know if there's a blockage that would happen. But I don't know.
So, obviously,
I kind of don't want to be in
Body in the
limbo.
worst way.
I mean, if you want to go to the Shadowfell, I mean, we could probably make that happen.
Please, no. Honestly, I like it here.
So,
Uh,
oh, by the way,
I have sympathize a
Oh.
lot with that.
I'll tell you something about the Raven Queen when we are done here. Well, Emma, so are you done?
Just one quick question. A quick aside.
Omen's like, wait,
Omen,
what?
yeah, I was gonna say when we get some sleep, remember to look some scrolls on the magical curse called ADHD. It's a very important context for this group. And I will move towards it with the shatter spike, and I'm gonna try to break it again because might as well.
What are you aiming at? The statue or the metal?
The metal because I hate myself.
So
Okay.
the blue banish or the blue teleportation thing was the metal that's on the
Yes.
statue.
Yes.
That is in the statue.
In the statue, and that's what he just banished.
It's just a
Partially
jawbreaker.
exposed.
There's different planes as you go in.
There's 100 levels of jawbreakers until you get to the middle.
How many?
How many licks does it take to
You gotta go with the, like, how many swings does it take to get to the center of a teleportation sphere? You swing with Shatter Spike?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's an object. I thought I was gonna find like a decayed body in here, but it's just a metal ball.
You did. What are you talking about? Not here.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. You swing, cut into the metal, dig in a good ways, pull it out, and you see almost like liquid. It reforms its shape.
Ew.
Oh dear
Like,
God.
it's solid, but it's like soft.
Like mercury.
No, not like liquid, like gold. Oh, it's kind of malleable.
Malleable.
And the metal is still like dark and cold, right?
Correct.
So if someone was to be really, really stupid and touch it, could they theoretically take it out of the space it is now?
It's still embedded in the crystal. You would have to. I mean, you can easily chip it out at
Yeah.
this point. Like, you can take time and just pry the crystal
Does
away
it-
and get it out. Yeah.
Do you want to, Desiel, do you want to take this with you?
Perhaps I will try casting Mage Hand again, visible purple Mage Hand, and touching it.
Yeah. Are you trying to pick it up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's not
What is the carrying capacity of your mage hand?
10 pounds, I
5
think.
pounds, right?
5
Is it
pounds.
5?
Too,
Yeah, 5.
too heavy.
10 pounds. 10 pounds.
10 pounds?
was 10?
Too heavy.
I am gonna cast Bless. Actually, did I prepare?
Do you want me to just levitate it out?
But the Mage
Oh,
Hand
yes, I
isn't
should have.
dispelled. Like nothing happens to it.
It touches the metal and kind of pulls, and you see it pulls it a little ways, but it's just too heavy for it.
So we're gonna take the blob that you hate with us.
It seems to be inert, so it should be fine now.
But didn't it just reform? It's
Yes,
still...
my main concern was that it would poof us wherever it. Did we see it poof Eddie, or didn't we
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah, you
You
saw
saw
Poof,
Eddie.
Eddie, and the Mage Hand, and your thing.
Yeah, wherever it sent Eddie, the mage hand, and my spiritual weapon. That was my principal concern. And it doesn't seem to be doing that anymore.
The thing is, though, remember the last orb I touched, so we thought it was inert, and then it tried to desiccate us?
Actually,
What?
I don't.
Oh my.
What was it? I actually don't remember. Oh,
You were
30
there.
minutes ago?
That was like 30 half an hour ago. Both
You
of you were
got
standing
popped
right there.
by it.
Oh.
Oh yes, that one.
And
I
like,
thought it
where are
was
we
in
gonna
the-
put it? Like in the bag?
No,
where
we're
Larry
not putting
is,
this
where it'll
inside
just
the bag.
desiccate her?
No, I mean, that's not a problem. But I'm not putting this inside the bag because this is the planar.
So we're just gonna carry it around? Cause that, like, I just... What's the plan?
I mean, I don't know how
Why
heavy
would
it
we do
is.
this?
Like, we can't leave this here for some child to
So we
find.
just break it?
Israel, do you have your thing where you can understand magical properties of items today?
Yeah, it'd take me about 10 minutes. I can understand anything,
That
a language, magical properties, whatever, in like 10 minutes.
that might not
Why
be a
don't-
bad idea.
Yeah, let's do that. That's the happy middle ground between just taking the weird orb and breaking the weird orb.
And then after we'll deal with the smaller statue. We're going with the bigger problem first, and then the smaller one.
Wait, there's another statue around here?
Right in front of the other one. There's one that's like on its feet like this, and then there's another one smaller on its knees with its
Is that
arms
still
pulled.
growing?
And there was a hole in it, right?
No,
In-
the hole in the chest was
In the
the
taller
larger one.
statue, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is
Around
where the ball is,
stomach.
right?
The ball was just above that, like in the upper chest, and then beneath it, it kind of goes out into the stomach.
Oh. That's
Is
probably
this
like an
crystal?
offering plate.
Is this crystal like completely opaque or is it translucent to any degree?
It is essentially opaque.
Is it still ringing?
And
Ooh, good point. No, it is not.
is it still
Ooh.
growing?
No, it wasn't when you guys got to it.
Oh, okay.
This
Yes,
was
just-
like finished.
yes, to not retroactive or to retroactively say when you cast a spell magic on the metal, the ringing ceased.
And there's no other ringing, like
That's
faintly
it.
off in the distance at all, or
It's gone.
okay.
Just to be safe, can I throw a mind sliver at the thing that's the smaller statue? Just to make sure that's not conscious either?
No, you can't target it.
Beautiful.
Now, if we do take it, whoever's carrying it, and maybe it'll, flicker back on, they're just gonna get bamfed.
Yes, which is why I should carry it if we take it with us. Because
Okay.
In worst case,
I can, well, from now, I did not prepare this morning, but assuming I get some time to rest before this happens, as long as I am carrying it, I will be able to banish myself back to where I came from.
What if you get banished? And then there's someone on the other end waiting to go, and then you get,
That would be terrible.
and then there's no one to
Yes,
pop you back up.
that would be absolutely
Do you-
terrible.
Do you get to pick where you'll get banished back to?
You are banished back to your home plane. As far as where on the home plane, I don't know. Haven't done
Right.
it before.
You have volcanoes here, right?
Yeah.
and
That
we
would be
have
bad.
rebellions and civil wars that we started or
Oh.
The middle
incited.
of the ocean, really wasn't great.
Hmm.
Yeah. I can think of Corbranth, I can think of most of Elysia, Alterum.
So what do you want to do? I mean, this is
We're not
Where-
welcomed in 2 out of 5 continents.
clearly this is an artifact of some significance. I mean, we don't want to just
Can-
leave it here for anybody to stumble across.
Can you not just banish this? The orb thing? Can you banish things? Or just creatures?
Never tried it. But I think it's a good idea to first try to understand what it is before
Sure.
we decide what to do with it.
Generally, it's a
So-
creature only.
Oh, is it? Oh,
for banish. There are other things I can do to creatures or not, but banishment is just a creature, I believe.
Why don't we stop hypothesizing and Desiel can do his whoa, I suddenly know everything about it thing. And then
Is that
and
is
then
that what he
we'll go from
says?
Yes. that is a direct quote.
Oh.
He just goes
There's something about that exact phrase that just is specifically structured to tie into the weave, and when he does so, all knowledge comes to him.
Ooh. Omen goes up to it, goes Ulu, and tries.
Nothing happens.
It doesn't
You
work.
don't,
You,
you don't have the special touch.
so Omen does that,
Oh.
and he hears in his mind, "Why have you forsaken me?"
That's odd. It talked to me, and it sounded like you. He turns to Dudley.
Did it? I don't know that. Let me see.
Are you an egg?
Hold on. Maybe I did that well.
Make an egg check.
Make an egg check. Yeah, it's insight against performance.
Alright. Inside. Ooh.
Yeah, it totally sounded like me.
He's been doing
Call
that
your
so
bluff.
much today.
Alright.
Omen passed his egg check.
Yes.
Whatever
So
effect, whatever effect was on you was reneged.
As Desiel is preparing to cast his thing, I'm just gonna go over to Omen and be like, so there was a circus, and there was a friend of ours, but that one of us was there to fight. He got beat up. One of us was helping build the circus, like volunteer in the circus. That's the one that's in the bag, the one that, Lyra. Tempest was just there, right? Tempest, we were just
I mean, it was
chilling,
a
right?
circus. I'm me. Was there any chance I wasn't gonna be there?
Yeah. And then there was Desiel and I, which we were just bored and we're like, well, might as well go to the circus, right? We're here. And then we went to talk to the poor guy that got the piss beaten out of him. And then we were going to try to find his manager to get the money. And then his manager got beat up. And then we tried to steal a safe, and that went really well. That went really bad. And then we found out that the owner of the circus was like this super powerful guy. And then we had to hunt a talking bear for the circus guy, and that went less badly. That went actually pretty well.
Sorry.
Yeah, and after that, we were going to a place, and then we found a little boy selling flowers, and then who bought the 200 flowers? That was Lyra, wasn't it?
Lyra felt bad because he was an orphan like she was, and so we bought so many flowers, and then the flowers put us all to sleep because they were magical, and then when we woke up, we were in the Feywild.
Yes, and our things had been stolen. And we met this town of actually, were they? No, they were just like elves, right? The people in
Yeah,
the
they were
city.
elves.
Yeah, there was a city of elves. It was called Ismarius. It was in the fringes, as they would say. And there were two humans there. Turns out they were part of a cult to a dragon that the matron keeps at bay. Oh, also, the night before we bought the flowers, Tempest and Lyra decided to go into a cavern where there was a ritual and a woman being sacrificed, and then a giant dragon had appeared. And then the next day, when we were in the Feywild, we met these two humans. They were cultists of that dragon, and then they tried to kill us. And then when we killed one of them and captured the other killed himself. And then after that, and this was like the first 3 days that we met each other, by the way.
It's been an eventful couple of months.
Wow.
Yeah. And when we got out of the Feywild, during the Feywild was crazy. Like, I almost got killed by an archfey. It was that bad. But then that archfey became my friend after I danced badly in his party. And that is a completely true sentence. And we came back, and then, oh yes, we were at a few gardens in a place in another country, and then a rebellion came up, and we didn't know if we would help the rebellion or if we were going to help the royals, and then we decided to help the royal, and then the royal's sister was a real asshole, and then we decided to leave, and then we left, and then we were back in the Feywild, and then we got back to the material plane where we were before, and then we went to a city to find a sketchy professor, and then we met that professor, and then we did a few odd jobs for him, and then some
Met
stuff
another
happened.
professor.
Then we met another professor, and then we met and then a few things happened, and one day that friend of ours that was fighting decided to wander off, and he died, and the next night Lyra decided to wander off, and she died, and then we took a few days, we found Lyra's body, and then we were like, huh, this is a problem. And then remember that circus guy from like 4 minutes ago? Turns out he can revive her, and he's also the prince of this country. And so we were trying to contact him. And oh, also the guy that killed Lyra was Parlin, and Parlin got her sword, and he was super powerful with that sword, and he could tear rifts in reality, and he went to the capital and he tried to kidnap the king. And then he did a lot of stuff.
Quick pause. I want to clarify.
That is the first time he's
that is
hearing
the first
that. I
time you
know.
have heard that is where Parlin got the sword. Continue.
Yes. And then after a while, we were there. We managed to separate him from the sword and help Lyra and get the king back. And then the civil war started, and then the sword ate him.
I have two things to add. One, we really just went all in on telling him everything, didn't we? Wow, okay. I guess we trust you now. Welcome to the gang. Secondly, my god, Amnail, we need to work on your storytelling skills. That was so much information, and like the last 2 months have been so exciting, and yet I was falling asleep.
In the last 2
All right.
months, or like the few months before the last 2 months?
Ooh.
Tempest just wilts.
There's tension there.
If she was a dog,
First-
like her ears tail would have like
That was not his
Hat.
intent. He kind of feels
Her
bad.
hat.
yeah, her hat wilts. I'll just go up here.
That was a lot. First question, what is a circus?
You've been here long enough. You know what a circus is.
Really? Okay. Never mind. Lyra had that sword?
It was a thing. We didn't know what it was. And honestly, I'm more convinced that it was Parlin's power more than the sword itself.
I mean, the sword was fine for ages. I painted it pink at one point. Didn't do anything.
Yeah, you stuck googly eyes to it.
That's a very nice color. But that sword itself is a god slayer, and Lyra had that? How?
She found it.
Turns out
It found her.
Hmm?
the sword found her.
I found her. Why her?
That is a good question.
That's scary. Maybe we should keep her in the bag.
Absolutely not. Why don't we put you in the bag?
Because I can't
Jeez.
breathe?
That was the point.
But she was chosen by a sword that can kill gods? She's dangerous.
I'm sorry, but you were chosen by some absentee queen who isn't here to help with the sword.
She probably got sliced by that sword.
No, she's still okay.
Well,
It's-
so did Lyra! Now they have
She's
something
not
in
like-
common. Lyra has more in common with you than you do.
Okay, sure. You're mad because okay, you're friends, yes, I'm sorry. But am I not a little bit right that she's kind of dangerous?
She's
No,
Maybe-
you're super wrong. You are so wrong.
So she's not dangerous at all.
Not to
No.
us.
She
It's okay.
cannot
Not to
breathe
anyone.
anymore, and she doesn't have to eat, apparently. And the first thing she does is lie to people. That
She lied
sounds a
to
little
you.
dangerous to me. Yeah, and that's why I have this opinion.
Have you never lied to anyone? If you've never had to lie to anyone, you have lived way too boring a life. And way too safe a life. You don't tell the truth to everyone. Not off the bat.
I mean, before I didn't really have emotions, so there's no need to lie. And then when I came here, I then started to work on being emotional, and I learned that lying is mean and you shouldn't do it.
Why is it mean?
Why is it mean to
The
lie
truth
to
can't always
people?
help people. If the truth can't help someone, why tell it to them?
All right. I mean, you got me there. Sure. I'm still learning. You
Aside,
know.
Omen, all aside, I think the biggest danger of this group is incompetence. And I would say we've gotten our shit together mostly since Lyra
right.
died.
He looks up from drawing the runes around the 3 circles that he has drawn. Willful incompetence.
Yes.
If you haven't gathered yet, Desiel is the smart one.
Sure. I mean, you all have magics, and that's probably you need to be in the books to do that, right? Right?
No, if I had to
Yeah.
do that, I would have been in trouble a long time ago.
Yeah. True that.
So, Amnail, you're winged, and you come from this scary plane that you're like, we don't want to go back to. What are you?
He just kind of looks up towards his halo. Did they not teach much about interplanar details back at the Shadowfell? We used to have expeditions there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you don't know anything about that. But
Okay.
you can recognize he's a celestial. Although
Oh.
none of a type you've seen before.
I've seen before. But well, I have never personally been to your home, but I know people who have. My father's first wife was there.
Honestly, you're not missing much. It's all, gloomy. All the people there are gloomy. Don't give a shit about anything because, you just live a life and then you die, then you live a life again, and then, and there's no color at all. You're not missing anything.
Wow. Funnily enough, it's pretty similar to where I lived. People were just stoic, boring, monosyllabic. And yeah, I mean, it does have color, and we have a few interesting things that I've never seen here. I mean, here we ride horses. There, people
Really,
used to
that's what
ride
you start with?
unicorns.
Come to
Oh,
the funeral
yeah.
plane. We have horses. Oh yeah, you really
Yes.
don't. Yeah.
So our dear friend Tempest, and I just kind of like our dear friend Tempest. She has a strong aversion towards equine creatures. I don't know either.
Is it the long face?
It's everything. They hate me. I hate them. It was destined, written in the stars when they say a mutual hatred for each other.
So, do you also hate cows? They're similar looking, I suppose.
No, it has to be a horse. I hate unicorns.
Well, that's because you never met them. They're actually pretty cool.
All right,
No,
you know
they're horse
unicorn.
adjacent. I feel like I read once about this thing called like a zebra, like a stripy horse. I'm not too crash hot on those either.
Did something happen to you with a horse?
I feel like, look, of course there's this long childhood trauma of like horse stuff, okay? But I feel like just ever since I've never had a positive experience with a horse to be like, yes, you know what? I need to rethink my position. Horses hate me, and I hate them. How did this become the conversation topic, okay?
It was brought up.
Yeah. But
Let's not talk about the horses, please.
Sure.
But yeah. Ironically, places where a thing was supposed to work much better. This place, which is much more chaotic and in flux all the time, it's more interesting that way.
Can you do magic? I mean, you have that shadow thing. You were simply like fascinated by our colorful magic, but that's not normal. That is not normal. People here do not have shadow symbolism. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. You are abnormal. Welcome
Yeah,
to the club.
actually, I don't think. Would I have seen that in the Shadowfell as well? Like any other
Yeah,
Shadowkai have that?
this is not entirely uncommon.
Okay.
But you've never had it before.
Right. Yeah, it's not magical, I don't think. I don't have anything else magical.
Well, the Shadowfell leaves its taint on people. Perhaps.
Yes.
Joe spent
That was
much
so
time there,
spooky.
huh?
Yes, I mean, I do feel some sort of connection with it, and it's kind of a tie to the Shadowfell, but it's only a tie. It's not a direct link. I don't think. I don't know. It's definitely useful.
Seems to
This thing where I can like look through it, it's new. It's very new. Still getting a hang of it.
Yeah, some of the stuff like I don't think I had ever flown before. I mean, I had seen Ezio tinker with it a little bit, but him being able to put that on me, that was pretty interesting and new.
Being able to fly would be really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and being able to open the portals across the veil and drag creatures back, that was also something a bit new.
I shoot stuff with glowy things.
That's really cool.
Oh, and I can do this too. I'll pull out a Terrence and there's like this cloth doll I have that kind of, it's basically just like a cloth that has had stuff stuffed in it and like a string tied around, so it's just like a head and then just like draped cloth. And then when I like pull it out, it's got like a smiley face drawn on it, and then it just like starts to twirl in front of you in like a little dance.
Oh, wow. That's neat. Is this circus stuff?
No, but Lyra and I do have this exquisite puppet show called Shadows Told, where we traveled around for a while with a bunch of shadow puppets and told really awesome shows. And I think that's better than a circus, honestly. At least better than the circus we met at.
Shadow
No one died.
puppets.
Shadow puppets.
Interesting.
You can see that there is an overtone of darkness and shadow and death within this group.
We're a death cult, apparently.
No, no. We're a death club. No, I'm just kidding. There was this joke that we were starting a death cult, given um, Lyra's allegiance to a god which reigns over death and the actual death god. No, I'm just kidding. But between the matron and the Umbral Lord, um,
Would I know about the Umbral Lord?
You definitely would. Make a history check.
Oh wait,
How much you remember?
history.
natural 20. Come on, exposition. Oh,
You know of Kalimvor, the Umber Lord. He is the judge of souls at the gates to the Shadowfell.
Hmm.
Some come in, some do not. Not everyone in the Shadowfell likes him or what he does, but the matron seemed to pay him much mind.
Gatekeeping things. Yeah.
if you put it like that, I like to think it as a bit of a scale where it has fairness and chance of redemption on one side and the weight of people's actions on the other.
Fair enough.
Otherwise known as being judgy, a term
Yeah.
coined by my dear Tempest here.
We also have the biscuit god, but we're not really sure where he fits into things yet.
Oh, yes. Jeff, the god of biscuits, plural. He grants us
Jeff.
many boons.
Yes.
Oh. Hmm.
By the way, Dizzy, how are you coming along?
So I was just saying, it's been about 10 minutes.
All right, yes.
So
About actual 10 minutes.
yeah, I've been watching. So at this point, Desiel pulls out a pearl and sets it in the middle of essentially an 8-pointed star, like a compass rose that serves as the pupil of an eye that sits within the middle of a 6-pointed star within multiple circles with runes drawn around them. And he picks up his wand and speaks the phrase "Bera Kenzlach," and he touches the pearl on that last moment, and this wave of purple energy just kind of pulses out from the pearl and kind of illuminates all of the runes and the chalk outline, and it just kind of lifts up out of the ground that he's been inscribing it on. And he looks, he kind of takes his wand and turns it from horizontal to vertical and looks through it like he's looking through a lens at the item of interest, which at this point is the metal, and tries to identify it.
Tries to identify it. Yes. So, what this tells you. This thing is rich in enchantment magic, or would be. You sense just a very, very deep core of magic that still runs through it that almost either can't have been excised by the dispelling, or has since reformed. Let's see, what all does identify tell you? This would be called a body of the Hollow One. And when functional, attempts to forcibly teleport the creature that touches it, or the creature or magical effect that touches it, to the plane of negative energy.
Do I see a dog anywhere? It just hasn't stopped barking.
Do you see a dog? No.
All of a sudden,
It's
a,
a
s- a thun- a lightning comes down and kills Omen. Oh no!
Shit.
You're not hearing my dog.
No, I think it's from
There are
roll
no
20.
dogs. There are no dog. Oh, is it in the map?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
There's
I
some,
think it's
there's
from
a,
the
there-
bot.
there's a...
Yeah, I have that muted when I
Oh, okay.
have this up, so I don't hear that. Ah,
I don't know how to mute
dogs
that.
don't tend to like high-pitched ringing sounds.
Fair enough.
There are no dogs just out and about.
How do I mute that?
If you right-click on the tab up top, there will be an option in the drop-down menu that says Mute Site.
About halfway down.
All right. So as you do that, what does Dizzy do?
Do I have any reason to believe that it is recovering, so to speak, from being dispelled?
It would not be an unreasonable assumption. It seems that whatever magic is within it is innate within it. That it is generated by the material.
But it itself is not a pocket dimension like a bag of holding.
Correct.
So I could place it within the bag of holding without causing a disaster.
Yes. It is not, nor does it contain a demiplane.
Well, this thing, as I thought, it sends anything that touches it to the plane of negative energy, or attempts to. And it may be recharging. It may be inherently powerful magic that cannot be permanently dispelled, or at least was not with the casting.
Could we break it?
Perhaps. But it's, I mean, it's a portable portal to another plane.
To a plane that we want to go to.
I don't know.
Why break it when we can weaponize it?
Or study it, or keep it somewhere that it deserves to be, used and studied.
Again, I can't believe that I'm the one saying this, but does no one else find it weird that the town that we're in, the night that we happen to be in it, that relates to the Raven Queen, a bunch of things start appearing. One of them is an orb that sends things to the plane of a negative energy, which doesn't necessarily sound like a happy and fun place to be. And we want to carry around the thing that's actively probably recharging to once again start sucking things in at a time that we can't predict. That may just drag us with it, so we're stuck in the plane of negative energy, which again, doesn't sound like a fun time.
Okay, so we should put this in the bag before it recharges, and then we can figure out what to do afterwards.
But would you know if you have to take it out of the bag? If it's recharged, then you're just gonna go, and then it's gonna touch the bag, and then it's gonna.
Yeah, what if it takes all our stuff with it?
No, it does not touch the bag. Like, it's the person reaches in and grabs it. It's the person touches it, or it could just be dumped out with everything else.
But if there's any other magic things that it falls upon in the pile, it'll all get sucked up.
No, in the bag of holding, it creates this kind of little miniature pocket dimensions within it, and so each thing you place in resides within its own area. If you don't put them in together, he's like suspended within his own pocket. Right, Tempest? Like Tempest was suspended, unable to.
Yes, but the last magical thing we put in there was like the last powerful magical thing we put in there was the sword. And how did that go?
Well, I did not see it personally, but my understanding is that Parlin was able to summon it the way that Lyra was able to summon it. The way that I was able to summon Eddie from the plane of negative energy, even though he was not back home.
I mean, Tempest, let's go with your argument that we should get rid of it or not take it. We can't just leave it here. We'd have to destroy it, correct?
Yes, this is a thing.
How?
Yeah. We haven't even
tried to-
tried. Like, I'm happy if we can't destroy it and the only option left is to put it in the bag, that's fine. But until we've actually determined that that's the only option, I just...
How else do you think we could destroy it? I tried to make it inert.
No, I mean,
But it's inert now. We haven't just tried to hit it after.
I did, and it just reformed.
Did you hit it hard enough?
Yes.
This is pretty
I
good
can
swing.
try again if you want, but do you want me
Put it
to try
down.
again?
Put it down.
It's there. No one's touched it.
Okay.
in my identify, did I... No, banishment is only for creatures, right? Did we say banishment's only creatures?
Yes.
Okay. Never mind.
This, yeah.
Still, did I get any information as to where it's... Like, is it from the plane of negative energy? Or...
This would not have given you that information.
Alright.
The recharging. Do you know what charges it?
It's just time, Drew, I assume.
Seemed to be.
Yeah.
So if I throw magic at it, it's not gonna...
I don't know. I can study it further. I mean, we could all camp out here with it. Certainly. I mean, we could stay out here, spend the night out here, camp outside with it. We could include it with us under the dome and just spend the night here. And
Did we check on Lyra after now that I've tried to dispel it? Because her mania and the ringing seem to be connected, and one of them disappeared after I tried to make it inert.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I checked on Lyra just a little while ago, but sure.
But that was before, just to make sure.
Sure. Question though: do we want to spend the night with it out here? Do we want to?
I
just
mean,
put
if
it
we
in the
spend
bag?
the night, are you gonna be able to learn anything more about it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, but do we want to stay in the middle of the town with two statues that came out of nowhere? That's gonna be really weird in the morning.
Should I see if I can levitate it?
Hundreds of other people are staying in the town with two statues that came out of nowhere, if not thousands.
Yes, but we're the ones sleeping around it.
Other people are sleeping around the other ones.
Can you figure out what this other statue is, if it's magical or not?
So what he attacked the metal, right?
Yes.
Not the statue. Right? Does it appear to be magical? Or do you want me to, I can sit here and try to identify it?
I just don't know what it is. There's two statues, only one thing. It seems weird.
Better safe than sorry.
Do you want me to try to crack it up a bit to see if we can look in?
No need. I will try to identify the statue.
Okay.
Fast forward.
It
to
does
the
not
next
return
one.
anything.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a statue.
Why is there two?
Uh, hmm. Well, this seems to be representing some sort of scene. What it is, I'm not sure.
Now, Mnail, are you observing the smaller statue now?
I am.
Okay. Are you going to look at its face?
Oh, why do you hate me? Yes.
Well, I
It's
am
your
now.
face.
What?
The smaller statue shares striking facial features with you.
Oh, yay.
What did the
So
bigger
I'm
one
now
look like again?
The bigger one
hollow
looks
eye.
like a hollow, emaciated woman. And this is of a man bent back, arms stretched out, kneeling facing forward, hair in front, but as you look under, it appears to be Mnail's face.
The person who had that vision was Lyra, wasn't Emno, correct?
Correct. But
Okay.
I believe she did tell you about it.
Oh,
She did.
okay. Okay. So I'm now, because the woman is behind, right? And the guy's on his knees in front. So we were having this conversation around the first statue. So I start heading towards the other one, already sword out, ready to like try to crack it up a bit. And you guys will see Emnel kind of get not quite on his knees, but just kind of like squat down. And as soon as he squats down, he just falls on his ass and starts like fumbling backwards.
You were right. Omen will go over to him.
I point at its
He'll-
face.
Do you know the bigger statue? Have you seen them before?
No, but I have a theory.
What's the theory?
I think it might be your matron.
Omen will look at the statue a little bit longer. Does it look familiar?
No.
He looks up.
Um,
As I mentioned before, she is in the shadow realm.
This looks nothing like the matron, no.
Well, this just makes things more confusing, doesn't it?
I'm pulling Lyra out of the bag.
Well, does he allow that to happen?
Totally.
Lyra's awake.
Fist fight. Yeah, I figured.
Lyra's awake, and we are going to end things right there for this evening.
Nice.
Join us next week to see how Lyra reacts to what has happened to her, how she's been for the last several minutes, and how everyone else shakes out these revelations, these theories, these thoughts, these ideas, challenging concepts. Thanks again to Syrinscape for the use of the sound library for the brief battle music you heard, as well as the creepy tones and the ringing tinnitus-esque sound. Thank you to Animated Dungeon Maps on Patreon for the battle map that, again, you saw briefly used tonight. Check that out at patreon.com/animatedDungeonMaps. You can check us out here every Wednesday at roughly 7:30 Eastern Time. You can also come back on Saturday, right? Or no, are you guys playing this Saturday?
Yes, Saturday
Okay.
for at least the next
Next
5
Saturday.
rounds.
Yes, next Saturday to see John and Kat on Wish You Were Here.
As well as
and
Kendra. And a couple
as well as
others
Kendra, yes.
from
And,
the,
other people.
yeah.
who aren't here, so I have no object permanence, so they might as well not be there. See them something about a heist in a fancy city and wishes, etc., etc. Go check that out.
Come see us do crime.
If this group is too goody two shoes for you, we've got you covered.
Huh.
Then on Tuesdays, you can see myself and Kendra, as well as a few other people, take to the streets of, we're in New England now, Massachusetts, I think, in the 1920s for Call of Cthulhu. Where either will or will not have an arm, depends on who you ask. And other things are surely happening, I never know going in.
See, that is karma because you didn't tell. You said like Lyra. Oh, Lyra has a face. Oh, Lyra has a back. Oh, Lyra has a belly. Now you don't know if you have an arm or not. See, how does that feel?
That's weird, to be honest with you. All that said, check us out on Linktree and all of our other social media spaces. Join the Discord for all kinds of interactions and discussions during the week. Yeah, and if you are feeling so generous as to throw a subscription our way, that would be much appreciated. Be sure to follow to be notified whenever we go live. I think that's everything. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning to all of you. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.